Chapter 1041, Sweeping the Galaxy, reporting Lin Moyu. The remaining flower branch of the Law God flower was bare, and there seemed to be no laws existing. It was almost the same as an ordinary flower branch. But Lin Moyu felt that it was not that simple. Being able to carry the Law God flower and provide the laws needed for the growth of different law leaves, how could the flower branch be an ordinary thing? He certainly wouldn't throw it away, but he really couldn't think of its use for a while. The information he had read only mentioned the role of the Law God flower, and did not explain what this thing was used for. Do you know what it's used for? Lin Moyu looked at Ji Yu Qingshan. As a disciple of the God Lord, her knowledge and what she knew should be richer than his. Perhaps she would know. Ji Yu Qingshan said, Law God flowers are rare. Master once mentioned a few words, saying that the most useless part of the entire Law God flower is the flower branch. It doesn't have any laws itself, and it can't be nurtured a second time. Even if it's used to refine weapons or pills, it doesn't have any effect. The answer obtained from Ji Yu Qingshan made Lin Moyu a little disappointed. Even the God Lord didn't know its use. There was indeed no trace of law aura on it. Lin Moyu sighed softly, I can only say that the world is so big that there is nothing strange in it. In the great world, all kinds of magical things exist. As the saying goes, existence is reasonable. If you can't figure it out, then don't think too much about it. Just as he was about to put the flower branch away, a spell constellation in his soul suddenly vibrated. Lin Moyu's soul looked at the infinite fusion spell constellation. This spell constellation was wrapped in the chaos law and emitted a hazy light. Before, when he was promoted to true god and resisted the curse of the great world rune, it played a huge role, almost sucking dry the power of the curse. It also made Lin Moyu understand that in addition to being able to fuse various law spells, it can also absorb various powers, and even the curse power of the great world rune can be absorbed. The chaos law is known as the most mysterious law, only appearing in legends, never seen in reality. Its existence has its own reason. Now it vibrated slightly, as if it was saying that it wanted the flower branch of the Law God flower. Lin Moyu immediately put the flower branch into the soul world and sent it to it. The chaos law vibrated slightly, wrapped the flower branch, and then sucked it in and disappeared. After absorbing the flower branch of the Law God flower, the chaos law became more concentrated, and seemed to be clearer than before. Lin Moyu's eyes lit up. If he could find some similar things, could he also materialize the chaos law? In this way, he would have the opportunity to comprehend this mysterious law. Even become the first person in the great world to truly master the chaos law. Lin Moyu was slightly excited in his heart, but he remained calm on the surface and did not show it. Ji Yu Qingshan asked, then what do we do next? Follow the original plan and wipe out the entire galaxy, Lin Moyu replied without hesitation. If Lin Moyu had said such a thing before, Ji Yu Qingshan would have been somewhat skeptical. But now, she was completely convinced that Lin Moyu could do it. This mission's extra reward, I'll definitely get my hands on it. Ji Yu Qingshan thought for a moment and said, let's make it clear beforehand, if we get any extra rewards this time, they all belong to you, I don't want a single share. Lin Moyu gave Ji Yu Qingshan a strange look, aren't you trying to get into the God City? If you can get extra rewards from the mission, it should help you enter the God City, right? Ji Yu Qingshan shook her head, I want to enter the God City with my own strength, and I don't want to rely on anyone else's help. I understand. Lin Moyu completely understood Ji Yu Qingshan's thoughts. This is a woman with a very strong sense of pride, and she doesn't like accepting help from others. She wants to rely on herself for everything, which is a bit similar to Mo Yun in the past. Not relying on her family, upgrading and adventuring on her own. If Ji Yu Qingshan wanted to rely on someone, her master would be the best person to rely on, who could always help in some way. The two left Shattered Star and quickly caught up with the Undead Legion. The Undead Legion is now in units of 1,000, a full 100 teams, scattered throughout the star system, clearing out the strange creatures. No matter where the strange creatures are hiding, they can't escape the search of the skeletons, and they are found one by one and quickly beheaded. The skeletons are currently mainly clearing out the strange creatures in the asteroid belt, and then clearing towards the inside of the star system in an encircling manner. The star system is very large, and the asteroid belt that surrounds the entire star system is also very huge. 100,000 skeletons seem like a lot, but once they enter the asteroid belt, they are like stones that fall into a swamp and disappear, unable to make any waves. Lin Moyu estimated that clearing the asteroid belt alone would take at least 30 days. Adding in the clearing of the star system, 100 days, I'm afraid it won't be enough. Immediately, Lin Moyu released another 200,000 Undead Legion, and 300,000 Undead Legion began to clean up together. The speed was several times faster. Ji Qingshan was stunned. How are there so many? Lin Moyu smiled slightly and did not answer. A mere 300,000 is not even a tenth of the whole. With a tap of his finger, the undead world descended with a bang. The million-meter giant eye of the undead bloomed again in the starry sky, and the eye of the undead's gaze fell on the asteroid belt, unleashing a soul attack. Seeking fresh flowers, Lin Moyu's joining made the clearing speed even faster. The weakness of the strange creatures is their souls. In this cleanup, the skeleton soul archers played the biggest role. They can directly attack and kill souls, preventing the strange creatures from resurrecting, greatly improving efficiency. Originally, there were also some cultivators in the asteroid belt who had taken on missions and were fighting with strange creatures. But the Undead Legion suddenly rushed out from the side, and cleared out the strange creatures in a few strokes, and swept past them. The skeletons didn't even take the dropped law beads, most of them only cared about killing enemies and didn't bother to pick up loot. Lin Moyu arranged for other skeletons to follow behind, collecting all the law beads. In just 10 days, all the strange creatures in the asteroid belt were cleared out. Ji Qingshan really became a rich woman, and in her hands, there were at least 50,000 law beads. Besides handing in the mission, the rest can be sold for money. A law bead is worth at least 10 points. Ji Qingshan now has more than 500,000 points in her hand, and even feels like it's burning her hands. She didn't expect that there would be so many strange creatures in the asteroid belt. After clearing the asteroid belt, the Undead Legion began to advance towards the interior of the star system. The interior of the star system also has a large number of shattered stars, and the Undead Legion doesn't let go of a single one, sweeping all the way. Wherever they passed, not a blade of grass grew. A group of cultivators gathered together again. They were all here to carry out missions, but now the strange creatures were all snatched away by the Undead Legion, and they had no way to obtain law beads. The mission was forced to be interrupted. They gathered together, their faces filled with astonishment, looking into the distance, towards the direction where Lin Moyu and Ji Qingshan were. What is he trying to do? It looks like he's trying to clear out the entire star system. This guy is crazy. How could he possibly do such a thing? It definitely won't work for someone else, but if it's him, it's hard to say. They deeply understood the strength of the Undead Legion. The strange creatures were chopped up and killed like tofu, unable to stop the Undead Legion's footsteps at all. These cultivators knew that if it were them, they wouldn't be able to stop the Undead Legion either. With so many Undead Legions working together, perhaps they could really flatten the entire star system. But they thought of another problem. Is using puppets to do missions considered a violation of the rules? Someone's eyes lit up. I think it's a violation of the rules. We'll report to the Human Emperor Network and let this guy suffer a bit. Ordinary. Chapter 1042. Not just entering the God City, but also the human race's God Road. Before, because of the Law God Flower, these people were still resentful towards Lin Moyu. At that time, Lin Moyu was extremely strong, but because his power was inferior, they had to swallow their anger. Now Lin Moyu is using puppets to complete the mission, which is obviously a violation of the rules. They all connected to the Human Emperor Network to report. The Human Emperor Network does have this function. But soon they were dumbfounded. The Human Emperor Network told them that Lin Moyu had not violated the rules. Not a violation of the rules. Does the Human Emperor Network mean that these skeletons are not puppets? Not puppets, could it be his spells? I don't believe it even if you beat me to death. I don't believe it either. I've seen summoning spells before, at most they can summon dozens or hundreds, how can there be so many? Moreover, summoning spells basically can't summon something stronger than yourself. Could it be some kind of magic weapon? 250. In the starry sky, a group of people stared at each other, not understanding what means Lin Moyu used. On the other side, Ji Qingshan giggled, "Junior brother Lin, those people really hate you. Hate without power, only belongs to the weak," Lin Moyu said lightly. Ji Qingshan's eyes twinkled with starlight. Has junior brother Lin never hated before? Lin Moyu shook his head. What I had was not hate, but animosity. But now it's gone, the enemies have all been eliminated. Lin Moyu was referring to the demon race in the small world. He really never hated them, only had animosity. Hate without power, this kind of emotion is meaningless, and over time it will only burn the mind. Lin Moyu was just purely hostile, and would kill them all if he had the opportunity. He really did it. Ji Yu Qingshan sighed softly. It seems that junior brother Lin's small world is not peaceful either. Many small worlds are like this, constantly fighting. So most of those who can kill their way out of the small world are geniuses. Lin Moyu said, the great world is too gentle. The human emperor network has a protective effect on the human race, but similarly, the restrictions are very large. Ji Yu Qingshan naturally understood this principle. She understood the human emperor network far better than Lin Moyu, and understood the operating rules of the human race. Master once said that the existence of the human emperor network has its good and bad sides. It is good for the weak, but not necessarily good for the strong. It is precisely because of this that the God City exists. It is said that the struggle in the central God City will be much more intense, and even more powerful people will be born. In Ji Yu Qingshan's words, there was a yearning for the God City, and she had been working hard, wanting to enter the God City. Lin Moyu only knew that the God City was a holy place for the human race, and as long as there were ambitious human race cultivators, no one would not want to enter the God City. But the level of God City is too high, and Lin Moyu hasn't been able to come into contact with it yet. Lin Moyu looked at Ji Yu Qingshan. It is said that entering God City requires performing some tasks. Only by passing a series of task assessments can one enter God City. Is that so? Ji Yu Qingshan looked at Lin Moyu with a smile in her eyes. She thought Lin Moyu's eyes were as bright as the stars, and very beautiful. She couldn't help but blush slightly, and turned her head to look elsewhere. Junior brother Lin should have received a series of missions when you had level 3 permissions, right? Lin Moyu hummed, I have to do 10 tasks, and I have already completed 8. Ji Yu Qingshan said, actually, this task is the task to enter God City. Completing 10 tasks is the first step. After completing 10 tasks, a comprehensive evaluation will be conducted based on the task completion. Based on the different evaluations, continue to perform the next tasks. When all the tasks are completed, you can enter God City. This is a long task. There are 9 steps in total, but it is said that people with excellent evaluations can do several fewer steps. Lin Moyu thought about Ji Yu Qingshan's words. In this case, it doesn't seem too difficult. Ji Yu Qingshan chuckled, Junior brother Lin, don't say this to others. This task is very difficult. Most people are forced to stop halfway. Those who are interrupted halfway are eliminated and are not qualified to enter God City. God City is not so easy to enter. It can be said that most people are not qualified. Lin Moyu asked, what step is senior sister at? Ji Yu Qingshan said, I have already reached the 7th step. I can complete the entire task and enter God City with 2 more steps. Ji Yu Qingshan was obviously very confident about entering God City. The completion of the previous tasks was obviously good. Lin Moyu congratulated Ji Yu Qingshan, then I will congratulate senior sister first. Ji Yu Qingshan smiled, actually, I still have to thank you. My 5th task was to receive a person from the small world. Your performance was very good, which improved my task evaluation. I think I should have no problem entering God City. Ji Yu Qingshan is in a very good mood now, watching her dream come true. There are 3 ways to enter God City. The most common is to perform a series of tasks. Everyone will receive a series of tasks. As long as they can successfully complete the 9 steps, they can obtain the qualification to enter God City. However, most people cannot complete the 9 steps. Halfway through, the task is stopped because they are unqualified. Another way is to join the army. With enough military merits, you can also get a ticket to God City. The last way is through the Hall of War Gods. As long as you can become a formal member of the Hall of War Gods, you are qualified to enter God City. Of the 3 methods, the first one looks the most complicated, but it is actually the simplest and safest. The second one requires going to the battlefield, which is much more dangerous. The third one is the most difficult. The requirements of the Hall of War Gods are very high, and ordinary people cannot enter at all. Ji Yu Qingshan suddenly asked, Junior brother Lin, you will also go to God City in the future, right? God City, I definitely want to go. I also want to see the human race God Road. Lin Moyu's voice was very firm. He not only wanted to go to God City, but also wanted to set foot on the human race God Road. Ji Qingshan said quietly, the human race God road is too difficult. It is said that no one has been able to set foot on it for thousands of years. Junior brother Lin's ambition is really great. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, people always have to have dreams. Lin Moyu has a dream. He wants to become an invincible powerhouse and change his wife's fate against the heavens. Thinking of his wife who is still sleeping in the coffin, Lin Moyu's heart will rise with a sense of urgency. Ji Qingshan waved her fist. I believe junior brother Lin will definitely be able to do it. Lin Moyu smiled. He didn't say anything, but his eyes were full of confidence. Ji Qingshan found that she liked to see Lin Moyu's confident look very much, which made her a little fascinated. The undead army is steadily advancing, and no corner of the galaxy has been spared. Strange creatures are constantly being killed. Whether they are at the 4th or 5th level of true god, they cannot stop the undead army. 20 days later, the undead army finally advanced to the core area of the galaxy. In a galaxy, the area starting 10 million kilometers away from the star belongs to the core area of the galaxy. Within this range, the influence of the star's power will become greater and greater. With the star as the center and a radius of 10 million kilometers, the number of strange creatures in the formed spherical area has increased significantly. In this area, multiple strange creatures are often encountered at the same time. The danger increases, and the number of cultivators here decreases accordingly. But this is not a problem for the undead army. The undead army is still unstoppable and killed in. Chapter 1043 The human race is not peaceful. After Lin Moyu and Ji Qingshan entered the core area, a group of cultivators appeared behind them. Some of them had conflicts with Lin Moyu because of the Law God flower. Some of them were unable to complete their tasks because the undead army had snatched the strange creatures. They gathered together and refused to leave. But because of the existence of the undead army, they did not dare to trouble Lin Moyu. They had witnessed the combat power of the undead army with their own eyes. With their strength, it would be useless to go there. What should we do? They have entered the core area. Our tasks cannot be completed. Failure to complete the task will reduce the evaluation and cut off the road to God City. This guy is too much. How can he do this? It's okay. I have already notified the elders in my family. It will be easy to handle when the elders come. There are many strange creatures in the core area. They cannot clean it up so easily. Wait a little longer. A group of people discussed for a long time and followed Lin Moyu and Ji Qingshan into the core area. In the core area, you can clearly feel the heat from the 31 stars. The star presents a faint blue light, which seems to be a little different from ordinary stars. Feeling is more intense. Lin Moyu could also feel that the star was constantly releasing its own power, trying to correct the entire galaxy. Unfortunately, the galaxy is too chaotic and it doesn't work much. There are indeed a lot more strange creatures in the core area, but it does not have much impact on the undead army. How to fight is still how to fight. However, the laws in this area are more chaotic. You can encounter various swords and soldiers formed by laws everywhere, attacking the undead army. Ji Qingshan said in surprise, why are there so many law obsessions here? Lin Moyu looked at the starry sky in front of him and sighed, the war back then was too fierce. Ji Qingshan couldn't help but sigh. She naturally didn't experience the war back then. Moreover, the human race has ups and downs in the big world, and has been on the verge of extinction many times. It is no longer clear in which era this galaxy was destroyed. It is too long ago, even possibly before the advent of the Human Emperor Network, it is difficult to record. Every law in the starry sky is transformed by obsession. And every obsession is a warrior who once fought in this area. Whether it is a foreign race or a human race, they are all mixed together. Looking at the countless obsessions and a large number of strange creatures, Lin Moyu seemed to see a great battle millions of years ago. Human warriors, in order to protect the galaxy. This used to be the home of the human race. As long as the star is not destroyed, it can be restored one day. However, the purpose of the alien enemies is to destroy the star. As long as the star is destroyed, this galaxy will be completely abandoned. It will be extremely difficult to recover. The two sides fought endlessly, and finally the human race won and protected the star. However, the human race also paid a great price. All the stars in the galaxy except the star were destroyed. The law also formed strange creatures, leaving countless obsessions, completely plunging the galaxy into silence. In the end, who wins and who loses in this result cannot be determined. The human race still tenaciously survived in the great world. From this perspective, the human race had won. Ji Yuqingshan suddenly turned her head and saw the cultivators following them, and frowned. They're still following us. Lin Mo smiled slightly. Of course they're following us. We've caused them to have no tasks to do, so naturally they're following us to demand justice. Indeed, the mission's failure might affect their chain missions to enter the divine city. This is a major issue. Ji Yuqingshan naturally understood the reasons behind it. After thinking for a moment, she said, how about we give them some of the law pearls? Lin Mo shook his head. No, law pearls obtained this way will also lower the evaluation. The human emperor network isn't easily fooled. Then what should we do? Ji Yuqingshan felt that it was indeed the undead legion that prevented them from completing their mission, and she felt somewhat guilty. In the end, Ji Yuqingshan was a kind-hearted person. If it were someone else, they probably wouldn't think that way at all. Lin Mo looked at her and smiled casually. It's simple. We can't give them law pearls, but we can give them strange creatures. With a thought, the undead legion immediately changed its mode of operation. Dragging a group of strange creatures, they flew towards the rear. What is he going to do? Why are these skeletons coming back, and why are they bringing so many strange creatures? Does he want to come back and deal with us? Seeing the skeletons return, the group immediately became nervous. At this moment, Lin Mo's voice resounded through the starry sky. Those who want to do missions, kill them. Lin Mo's meaning was very clear. Anyone who couldn't understand was an idiot. Immediately, someone took action. Regardless of Lin Mo's purpose, for many people, the mission was the priority. As long as they could complete the mission, everything else was negotiable. There were also some who didn't take action. They were more arrogant, and their self-esteem didn't allow them to do so. They wouldn't eat food offered in charity, and they couldn't bring themselves to lower their status. But seeing others constantly killing strange creatures, they still felt threatened, and their anxiety could be seen in their eyes. Let's do it ourselves. Several people exchanged glances and immediately formed a group, heading towards the depths of the starry sky. There were many strange creatures here. If they joined forces, it wasn't impossible to fight. There were also some who had grudges with Lin Mo at the La Divine Flower. They didn't take action, but coldly watched Lin Mo. A smile flashed in Lin Mo's eyes. They've split up so quickly. He just made a casual move and divided the group into 3 factions. Ji Yuqingshan also saw it and understood Lin Mo's purpose, and couldn't help but giggle. Junior brother Lin is a bit naughty. Lin Mo didn't think so. I'm letting them complete their missions, how is that naughty? Moreover, is there really no competition among the human race? These words made Ji Yuqingshan think a lot. Although the human race was peaceful, the existence of the human emperor network meant there was no internal strife. But was there really no competition at all? How could that be? No competition meant death. If one really believed that there was no competition within the human race, then they wouldn't have the qualifications to go further. The great world was cruel, and the extinction of races happened all the time. The human race had simply hidden the competition in the dark, and hadn't put it on the surface. Like this mission, if Lin Mo had taken all the strange creatures, causing them to fail their missions, Lin Mo wouldn't have violated any rules and wouldn't have been punished. Those who failed their missions would be punished. Besides, there were also many people like Ji Yu who used various means to attract others, but didn't take action themselves, yet could plot to kill people. Such people also wouldn't be punished. This was the competition in the dark. Although the human emperor network protected the human race on the surface, it had never given up on competition. However, everything was for the human race to survive in this cruel great world. Lin Mo hadn't been able to figure it out at first, but it was only recently that he finally understood some of the underlying things. To allow the weak to survive well, and to allow the strong to constantly climb and break through themselves. This was the true meaning of the human emperor network's existence, and the true strategy of the human race's higher-ups. Chapter 1044. The Liu family, Star Master family of Star 33. Lin Mo giving some strange creatures to others didn't mean any loss to him. Similarly, this action of his also changed many people's views of Lin Mo. Suddenly, a strong person entered the star system, carrying a huge aura, flying from inside the star system. Lin Mo was the first to feel the other party's aura. A divine king is here. Ji Yuqingshan was slightly stunned. What is a divine king doing here? This mission, not to mention divine kings, even those true gods of the 7th and 8th ranks were too lazy to do. How could a divine king come? Lin Mo said, he should have been called here to show off. Ji Yu Qingshan seemed to understand somewhat. After a moment, a figure had already appeared in sight. A middle-aged man wearing a long shirt, exuding the pressure of the Divine King realm. Liu Hong, Divine King First Order. Liu Hong's gaze swept over everyone, and finally landed on one person. Where is the Law Divine Flower? This person was called Liu Fei, and he shared the same surname as Liu Hong, and his appearance was also somewhat similar. He should be from the same family. Liu Fei immediately told the whole story. Liu Hong listened with shining eyes, looking towards Lin Mo. Junior brother Lin, did you get the Law Divine Flower? Lin Mo also didn't hide his information. Liu Hong addressed him as junior brother, which was considered relatively polite. Since that was the case, Lin Mo was also polite and cupped his fist to Liu Hong. This junior did indeed obtain the Law Divine Flower. Liu Hong asked unhurriedly, how many layers of laws are on the flower? Lin Mo didn't hide anything, 5 layers. Is there a starlight law? Liu Hong continued to ask, his voice seeming somewhat eager. From his appearance just now, Lin Mo felt that Liu Hong was cultivating the starlight law. The starlight law was also one of the most cultivated laws among the human race. Lin Mo still didn't hide anything, yes. Liu Hong's chest visibly rose and fell several times, and even his aura fluctuated rapidly. Junior brother Lin, can you sell me the Law Divine Flower? Liu Hong said in a low voice, his eyes full of eagerness. Lin Mo shook his head, I can't sell it, I've already used it. Ah, used it, you're lying. Liu Fei shouted fiercely, you haven't left here at all, how could you have used it? Lin Mo said it again, I really used it. Liu Hong's face gradually became gloomy, Junior brother Lin, can you tell me how you used it? Lin Mo chuckled, it seems there's no need to tell you, right? Lin Mo naturally knew which things could be said and which things couldn't be said. Although telling him wouldn't be a big deal, but why should he? You ask and I have to say. What a joke. At this time, Liu Qingshan felt a little excited, because Lin Mo was unwilling to tell others, but in front of her, he showed it generously. It shows that her position in Lin Mo's mind seems to be different from others. Ji Yu Qingshan felt a little strange, and she didn't know why she had such thoughts. Liu Hong's expression turned even uglier after hearing this. Junior brother Lin, I don't want to pry into your privacy, but the Starlight Law in the Law Divine Flower is really useful to me. If junior brother Lin can part with it, I will owe you a favor, and I will definitely offer a price that satisfies you, so you won't suffer a loss. Lin Moyu still smiled, I'm really sorry, it's really used up, senior brother, please. Even if it hadn't been used up, Lin Moyu didn't plan to sell the Law Divine Flower. This thing is so rare, it would be a pity to sell it. He's not short of points, and points are easy to get. Who knows when he'll encounter another Law Divine Flower. Liu Hong's expression became strained after being rejected repeatedly. After all, he was a god king, while Lin Moyu was just a true god, and only a first-level true god. Whether in terms of strength or status, the difference was huge. He was being so polite, yet he was being given so little face. But now there were many people watching, and as a senior, he couldn't lose his temper on the spot. Liu Fei, who was behind him, didn't have this concern. Lin Moyu, do you know the consequences of offending my Liu family? Lin Moyu found it funny, the deal didn't go through, so you're planning to use your power to bully me, right? What are the consequences? Tell me. Liu Fei snorted coldly, the great world isn't as simple as you think. Even with the human emperor network, my Liu family has ways to deal with you. You're just a first-level true god, do you believe I can make it impossible for you to move an inch, and you won't be able to complete a single mission? Threat, a naked threat. But before Lin Moyu could speak, Liu Hong suddenly scolded, shut up, what nonsense are you talking about? Liu Fei's expression changed drastically, realizing that he had said the wrong thing. Even if the Liu family really had this ability, some things could be kept in mind, but saying them out loud was another matter. There wasn't just Liu Fei here, there were dozens of people watching and listening. Could such words be said casually? Lin Moyu found it even funnier. The people in the great world had really been spoiled for too long. If this were the small world, no smart person would say such things. Whatever you have to do, just plan it in your heart, even if you're full of bad intentions, it doesn't matter. Who's so stupid as to pour out their bad intentions for others to see? Lu Hong cupped his fist towards Lin Moyu. Junior brother Lin, since you're unwilling to part with the law divine flower, I won't force it. I'll take my leave now. After saying that, he shouted angrily at Lu Fei, let's go. Lu Fei lowered his head and followed Lu Hong away without saying a word. Ji Yu Qingshan whispered, you need to be careful, I think that guy's eyes are wrong. I know, nothing will happen. Lin Moyu nodded, not caring. He naturally knew that Lu Hong's eyes were full of hatred when he left. It was as if he had killed his entire family, wishing he could swallow him alive. Lin Moyu thought of a sentence, those who block others from achieving enlightenment will never be forgiven. He didn't sell the law divine flower to him, which could be considered blocking his path forward. Perhaps the Lu family had always been strong, which was why they were like this. Senior sister Ji Yu, do you know the Lu family? Lin Moyu became a little interested in the Lu family. Ji Yu Qingshan shook her head, there are many people with the surname Lu, there are Lu families in several star systems, I'm not very clear, but I can ask. Saying that, Ji Yu Qingshan closed her eyes and communicated with the Human Emperor Network, obviously going to ask someone. She came from the great world, and over the years, she always had some Wang Jiao friends. After a moment, Ji Yu Qingshan reopened her eyes, I've found out, it should be the Lu family from Suzaku star system number 33. The Lu family's ancestor was the Star Lord of the star system, and also a god Venerable. Lin Moyu suddenly understood, so it's a god Venerable family, no wonder they're so strong. In the Suzaku star region, there are not many god Venerables, but there are not few either. There are still over 100 god Venerables, especially the Star Lords of the middle-level star systems, who are basically god Venerables. It's not surprising that Lu Hong, born into a god Venerable family and being the Star Lord of a star system, would develop such a strong personality. Ji Yu Qingshan continued, the Lu family has a tracking technique. If a god king uses it, they can track the target's location within hundreds of light years. You must be careful. There was actually such a technique, with such a wide tracking distance, it was indeed very magical. Lin Moyu looked at the starry sky, I guess we'll meet again soon. Ji Yu Qingshan's pretty face changed color, are you saying that Lu Hong will intercept us halfway? Lin Moyu hummed, very likely. Chapter 1045. Different star regions, different cultures. Ji Yu Qingshan was a little worried. If a god king wanted to harm them, they would be in a lot of trouble. Perhaps the other party wouldn't dare to directly attack them, but they could carry out various obstructions from another aspect. For example, when doing missions, they could harass them and prevent them from completing the mission smoothly. Lin Moyu comforted, don't worry too much, some missions can't be obstructed. Ji Yu Qingshan nodded. Indeed, some missions couldn't be obstructed, such as some missions in the Human Emperor Network and some missions in secret realms. However, in this way, the limitations of the missions would be much greater, and some missions would be difficult to choose. In short, being targeted by them was not a good thing. Lin Moyu's thoughts were different from Ji Yu Qingshan's. He was wondering if Lu Hong would really intercept and kill them. Although there was the Human Emperor Network, and they wouldn't dare to directly attack on the surface, what about in the dark? Lin Moyu didn't believe that such an old fox wouldn't use the rules. Even he could think of ways to bypass the rules. Even if he killed someone, he could avoid severe punishment, or even avoid punishment altogether. Using the rules to kill people reasonably was not impossible. However, it was useless to think too much. Lin Moyu smiled casually, we'll deal with whatever comes our way. The boat will right itself when it reaches the pier. Don't think too much. Ji Yu Qingshan was also infected by Lin Moyu and felt a little more at ease. She repeated Lin Moyu's words, we'll deal with whatever comes our way. The boat will right itself when it reaches the pier. These words sound very much like the rhetoric from the Azure Dragon Star region. Lin Moyu looked at Ji Yu Qingshan with a slightly surprised expression, Azure Dragon Star region. In the currently known information, he knew that the human race was divided into 4 major star regions, Azure Dragon, Suzaku, White Tiger, and Xuanwu. The 4 major star regions jointly guarded the central divine city. As for the detailed information in each star region, Lin Moyu didn't know. Ji Yu Qingshan said, my master has a friend from the Azure Dragon Star region. I heard them talk like that, one said after another. Lin Moyu's 2 sentences came from his previous life. Could it be that where I was in my previous life was in the Azure Dragon Star region? Lin Moyu didn't have too much attachment to his previous life. So much time had passed, and everything had changed. But if there was a chance, Lin Moyu would be willing to go back and take a look. The two continued to fly towards the core of the star system. The undead army had already advanced a long distance. Lin Moyu would still bring some strange creatures over and give them to others to do missions. For those who were arrogant, he would also try to leave some strange creatures behind without leaving a trace, so they could kill them. In fact, they also knew that Lin Moyu was doing this intentionally. Everyone just tacitly agreed. The undead army still adopted the encirclement-style offensive method, trying to not let a single strange creature go. The closer they got to the star, in addition to the strange creatures, the more dense and powerful those obsessions became. The laws transformed by obsessions were more elusive and difficult to predict than strange creatures. For those cultivators at the 4th or 5th level of True God, the pressure they faced was also increasing. People began to be injured by obsessions. But their missions hadn't been completed, and they couldn't just retreat. Lin Moyu could only bring out more strange creatures for them to kill. Gradually, these people changed their views on Lin Moyu and no longer felt that Lin Moyu had disrupted their missions. Actually, Lin Mo didn't care about their thoughts at all. Lin Mo gave Ji Yu Qingshan the skeletal armor. With the skeletal armor protecting her, there was no need to worry about a sudden attack from the lingering will. Lin Mo asked, "Can you tell me about the 4 great star regions?" Ji Yu Qingshan's beautiful eyes sparkled with a smile. "Actually, I don't know much either. It's just that my master has wide connections, and I've heard a few things from it. Each star region has different customs and development paths. For example, people in the Azure Dragon star region speak in a very strange way, with a special rhythm, just like what you said before. The Azure Dragon star region has the most artificers. Basically, all kinds of warships in the army are refined in the Azure Dragon star region. People in the White Tiger star region seem to have a different cultivation method from us. They emphasize the power of belief." Lin Mo softly said, "The power of belief." Ji Yu Qingshan nodded vigorously. "It's the power of belief. My master said that the power of belief is one of the original powers of our human race, with infinite wonderful uses. I've also read information about the power of belief. It does have a great effect, but I just don't know how to use it specifically. People in the White Tiger star region have the deepest research into the power of belief. As for the people in the Black Tortoise star region, I haven't been in contact with them, and my master didn't mention them, so I'm not very clear." Ji Yu Qingshan didn't know too much either. Most of it was just superficial things. It seems that if you really want to understand other star regions, you still need to reach level 5 permission to view more information, or even personally enter other star regions to find out. However, level 5 permission is not so easy to achieve. The requirement of 1 million points, many people may not be able to reach it even when they reach the 5th or 6th rank of the God King realm. There was no use in being anxious. Lin Mo suppressed his thoughts and decided to wait until later. Gradually, the cultivators completed their tasks one by one, obtained enough law beads, and bid farewell. Before leaving, they did not forget to salute Lin Mo to express their gratitude. Although Lin Mo disrupted their mission, he also helped them complete it. They didn't blame Lin Mo. Even the few people who had conflicts with Lin Mo before because of the Law God Flower have now erased the matter. Soon, the star system became empty, with no one else but Lin Mo and Ji Yu Qingshan. The Undead Legion advanced with great strides, sweeping all the way. The last 1 million kilometers took a full 20 days. This mission has taken 50 days, which is the longest mission Lin Mo has ever done. Ji Yu Qingshan looked at the star within reach. "I didn't expect that we really did it." Lin Mo chuckled. "Actually, the result was determined from the beginning." Lin Mo's voice was full of confidence. Ji Yu Qingshan also liked to see Lin Mo's confident appearance. Her pretty face flushed. "Just a little bit more, and we can put the rejuvenating star formation on it." Lin Mo softly said, "The last step is also the most difficult." Huh. Ji Yu Qingshan was slightly stunned. She didn't understand where the difficulty lay. Now they were only 1 million kilometers away from the star. In at most 2 or 3 days, they could clean up all the strange creatures. When the time comes, they only need to unfold the formation plate and put it on the star. The rejuvenating star formation will borrow the power of the star, integrate the power of the great world laws, and reorganize the star system. Without the interference of lingering wills and strange creatures, this star system can regain its vitality after thousands of years. Lin Mo pointed to the star. "There's still a big guy there." Ji Yu Qingshan followed the direction Lin Mo pointed, only to see a scorching and brilliant star. Lin Mo's perception was much more acute than Ji Yu Qingshan's. He had already sensed that there was a big guy lying on the star. Its existence was the key to the star system's difficulty in recovering. The star has been working hard for so many years without success, and it is at least half the reason. Lin Mo said, "Stay behind me then and be careful." Chapter 1046. It's like a dungeon boss. Lin Mo stared at the star. He knew that on the surface of the star, there was a powerful strange creature. All the strange creatures he had encountered before were nothing compared to it. Strange creatures are very special and difficult to see with the naked eye. Only when a strange creature moves can it be sensed, truly seen. Otherwise, there wouldn't be such a special thing as spirit-seeking stones. However, strange creatures ultimately couldn't escape the sight of the undead. Through the perspective of the undead, their existence could be clearly discovered. But this strange creature lying outside the star was different. It had become so powerful that Lin Mo could directly see and sense it. It was incomparably huge, covering most of the star. It was the largest individual Lin Mo had ever seen. Of all the creatures and monsters Lin Mo had faced, this strange creature was the largest. Its size was more than 10,000 miles, enough to cover most of the star and devour many ordinary planets. Although he didn't know the opponent's true strength yet, at least in terms of size, Lin Mo didn't dare to take it lightly. The Undead Legion maintained its rhythm, continuing to clean up the strange creatures around the star, gradually approaching it. The closer they got, the clearer the sensation became. Lin Mo couldn't help but feel like he was about to fight a dungeon boss. Ji Yu Qingshan lit a ball of fire on her palm. She lit a spirit-seeking stone. The spirit-seeking stone emitted ripple-like energy outward. Then, with a bang, the spirit-seeking stone exploded. In the instant before the spirit-seeking stone exploded, Ji Yu Qingshan saw the big guy Lin Mo was talking about. Her vision was firmly occupied by that big guy. Everywhere her eyes could reach, it was it. It was the star, super huge. How can it be so big? Ji Yu Qingshan couldn't believe it and couldn't help but exclaim. Lin Mo smiled. "Did you see it?" Ji Yu Qingshan nodded. "I saw it, such a big one." Lin Mo said, "This is the biggest guy I've ever seen." "Have you ever seen one bigger than it?" "No." Ji Yu Qingshan shook her head repeatedly, indicating that she had never seen one. Then she said again, "However, my master once said that some creatures in the great world are comparable in size to the entire star system. For example, there is a kind of guy called the Starry Sky Giant Tree, which is comparable to some small star systems." Starry Sky Giant Tree. Lin Mo's mind flashed with its appearance. He had dealt with the Starry Sky Giant Tree before, and it was indeed a super powerful big guy. Although this strange creature in front of him was huge, it was still insignificant compared to the Starry Sky Giant Tree. Moreover, in the great world, there may be even more powerful creatures than the Starry Sky Giant Tree. The world is truly vast, and there is nothing that is not strange. Finally, all the strange creatures were cleaned up. At this time, they were only 100,000 kilometers away from the star. 100,000 kilometers is very short from the scale of the great world. Especially for a star, being 100,000 kilometers away from the star is no different from sticking to it and letting it bake you. If a planet were so close to the star, it would have been scorched long ago. But Lin Mo and Ji Yu Qingshan didn't feel too much heat. The two knew that most of the heat from the star was absorbed by the strange creature covering it. Only less than half of the heat could actually penetrate. The star was rotating, and only when it turned to the other side could they truly feel the heat from it. About half of the power emitted by the star was absorbed by it. Lin Mo said in a deep voice, "I'm going to make a move, don't go far away from me, be careful." Saying that, Lin Mo had already stepped aside, blocking Ji Yu Qingshan behind him. Looking at Lin Mo's back, Ji Yu Qingshan suddenly had a feeling of being protected. This feeling was very wonderful, with a slight warmth in her heart, very comfortable. Her pretty face flushed again. Ji Yu Qingshan's voice was as thin as a mosquito, "I will be careful." With a thought from Lin Mo, the Undead Legion immediately began to merge. The skeletons combined to form skeleton divine generals. Lion Bo Mian was also using his full strength, and Lin Mo Yu didn't take it lightly, directly using the skeleton divine generals. Moreover, without any reservations, he summoned all 1,000,000 skeleton divine generals. Lin Mo Yu's fingertips continued to flash with light, and the infinite fusion technique was constantly activated. In the blink of an eye, the starry sky was densely packed with skeleton divine generals. 1,000,000 skeleton divine generals filled the starry sky with a fierce aura. Each skeleton divine general was over 10 meters tall, wielding a sword and shield, and exuded a massive aura. Each skeleton divine general was comparable to a true god of the 8th order. If they attacked with full force, they could surround and kill a true god at its peak. Even if you materialized your soul, you would only have to flee in the face of 1,000,000 skeleton divine generals. This was Lin Moyu's confidence. Ji Yu Qingshan was already stunned. The previous 300,000 undead legion was already very powerful, and the current skeleton divine generals shocked her even more, rendering her speechless. She couldn't express her feelings at this moment with words. Her brain was like it had crashed, blankly stunned there. She knew that she completely didn't understand Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu broke her limits of understanding again and again. Immediately afterward, strange stars rose behind Lin Moyu. Seeking flowers, the law domain burst forth, and the law of slaughter transformed into a law divine dragon, surrounding the skeleton divine generals. Elemental liches leapt out one by one, and circles of light appeared beneath the feet of the skeleton divine generals. Under the blessing of the law aura, the aura of the skeleton divine generals became even stronger. Finally, the Lich generals appeared, adding buffs to the skeleton divine generals. The Lich generals also possessed considerable combat power, but for Lin Moyu, their greatest role was to heal the undead legion and enhance their combat power. At this moment, Lin Moyu was truly going all out. Kill. Lin Moyu's killing intent surged, and the undead legion, following its master's will, turned into lightning and rushed towards the star. This was a terrifying army, unaware of pain, fearless of death. Any action could be completed with just one command from Lin Moyu. ... 0. Moreover, they would never collapse, even if only one remained, they would fight to the end. Everyone who had been on the battlefield knew that an army that knew no fear was the most terrifying. From the perspective of the skeleton divine generals, the strange creatures crawling on the star had nowhere to hide, and were clearly visible. The speed of the skeleton divine generals reached 30,000 kilometers per second, and after only a few seconds, the two sides were close at hand. At this time, the strange creature seemed to awaken from its slumber, and its body moved slightly, stirring up countless flames. The star's fire boiled in the starry sky. Zon. The skeleton divine generals raised their long swords, and millions of sword energies cut through the starry sky, shattered the flames, and landed on the strange creature's body. A sharp sound resounded through the starry sky, and countless wounds appeared on the strange creature's body. Starlight shot from all directions, turning into arrows of starlight, piercing into the strange creature's body. Flames rose, and the law of fire continuously burned on the wounds. The law of heavy water played its role, covering half of the strange creature's body, slowing its movements. The law of storm tore at the wounds, causing them to expand rapidly and become difficult to heal. At the deepest part of the wounds, the power of death in the law of undying corroded the strange creature. The attacks of the skeleton divine generals carried various laws, causing the strange creature to suffer serious injuries. The strange creature roared, and its huge body, carrying flames, heavily crashed into the skeleton divine generals. It rolled with fire, turning into a flaming planet, and exploded on the skeleton divine generals. The skeleton divine generals were immediately knocked flying, and many had cracks in their bodies, on the verge of collapse. The Lich generals held their staffs and continuously cast skills to heal them. The skeleton divine generals stabilized their bodies and flew back again, launching a siege. Chuan. Chapter 1047. Strange Giant Spirit, Manipulating the Star. Seeing the skeleton divine generals being knocked flying and then flying back again, Lin Moyu couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. The attack power of this strange creature had already reached the 9th order of True God, which was much stronger than the skeleton divine generals. But its attack power was still unable to instantly kill the skeleton divine generals. Under the effect of the talent, the skeleton divine generals shared the damage, plus the continuous healing of the Lich generals. This huge strange creature was unable to cause fatal damage to the skeleton divine generals. In this way, grinding it to death was only a matter of time. The skeleton divine generals had already surrounded it. Looking from the starry sky, it was like a large group of small ants surrounding a giant elephant. The sizes of the two sides were completely out of proportion. But these little ants had sharp teeth and kept creating wounds on the giant elephant. The giant elephant was obviously extremely angry, but it was helpless. The strange creature rolled with fire, while also stirring up various laws, turning them into countless blades and soldiers that struck the skeleton divine generals. The skeleton divine generals were constantly knocked flying, and then quickly flew, 757, back to continue fighting. Lin Moyu cast detection technique, landing on the strange creature. Strange giant spirit. Level: True God realm. Characteristics: absorbed a large number of laws and obsessions, and mutated due to various reasons, evolving from a strange creature into a strange giant spirit. The result returned by the detection technique was not much different from Lin Moyu's guess. Ji Yu Qingshan also used the detection technique and murmured, "Evolved from a strange creature, it's really peculiar." Lin Moyu smiled and said, "I once heard a saying, called the thread of life in the origin of all things. Although strange creatures have no wisdom and evolved from obsessions, heaven has not blocked their path." Hearing Lin Moyu's words, Ji Yu Qingshan couldn't help but giggle. "We cultivators all believe in ourselves, how can you still believe in heaven? Heaven is illusory." Lin Moyu shook his head. "This heaven is not that heaven. The heaven that Lin Moyu was referring to was the truth of the operation of this great world, not the God in the mouths of ordinary people." Ji Yu Qingshan seemed to understand, lost in thought. Lin Moyu observed for a while and slowly said, "This strange giant spirit has devoured too many obsessions, taking the laws in the obsessions as its own, so it possesses multiple laws. But similarly, it is also affected by the obsessions, becoming extremely chaotic. It lies on the star, wanting to use the power of the star to sort out its chaotic thoughts. If it succeeds, it can go a step further, maybe it can become a true life. Unfortunately, after so many years, the effect is not great." Lin Moyu couldn't help but sigh. Wanting to become a true life is really difficult. It frantically attacked the skeleton divine generals, but all attacks were to no avail. Under the siege of the skeleton divine generals, its injuries became more and more serious. Lin Moyu tapped his finger lightly, and the Eye of Undying suddenly appeared in the starry sky. At the same time, the curse of time fell, carrying out a fatal blow to its chaotic soul. Strange creatures are composed of laws and can be resurrected. But the soul is very fragile. Once the soul is wiped out, it cannot be resurrected again. With its huge size, it is estimated that it won't be truly killed until it is killed dozens or hundreds of times. Lin Moyu didn't want to waste time and directly wiped out its soul. The skeleton divine generals also launched a concentrated fire attack at this moment. The huge body collapsed with a bang, the soul was exposed, a sharp scream sounded, and the strange giant spirit suffered a heavy blow. The strange creature was completely torn to pieces, and Lin Moyu saw a stream of light instantly shoot into the star. His brows furrowed slightly, a bad feeling rising in his heart. The speed of the star's rotation suddenly increased, booming and crackling, sending fire in all directions. Fireballs erupted in the starry sky, shooting out like cannonballs and exploding. The skeletal generals were blasted apart, as the star changed its trajectory, hurtling towards them. Simultaneously, vast amounts of laws converged on the star, and the grotesque giant rapidly reformed, merging with the star. Lin Mo's expression shifted slightly. This guy is manipulating the star. It seems that all those years of lurking here weren't entirely useless. Lin Mo was not worried in the slightest, and quickly retreated with Ji Yu Qingshan, temporarily avoiding the brunt of the attack. The skeletal generals were sent flying by the star, their bodies collapsing in midair. The star's power was too immense, and the grotesque giant, manipulating it, unleashed power far exceeding its own. At Lin Mo's command, the skeletal generals also retreated rapidly, scattering completely in the starry sky. At this moment, the star flared up violently, and the skeletal generals burst into flames. The star's power contained stellar flames, far more potent than ordinary fire laws, and many more skeletal generals were incinerated. Seeing the skeletal generals collapsing, Ji Yu Qingshan asked worriedly, "What do we do?" Lin Mo showed no concern. How immense is the star's power? How long can it possibly manipulate it? Seeing Lin Mo's confidence and assurance, Ji Yu Qingshan chose to trust him. The two of them retreated quickly, and the skeletal generals scattered rapidly. The skeletal generals that had been killed were reborn from the ashes. The grotesque giant manipulated the star to crash around wildly, but the effect was no longer as potent as at the beginning. The skeletal generals simply dodged from a distance, not giving it a chance. Half an hour later, the star's light gradually dimmed, and the flames no longer churned. Almost there. Lin Mo's heart stirred, and the scattered skeletal generals swarmed back. The grotesque giant detached from the star, its aura slightly weakened, obviously having consumed a great deal of power manipulating the star. The skeletal generals once again surrounded the grotesque giant, launching a frenzied attack. The grotesque giant tried its best to fight back, but without the star's power, its counterattacks were negligible. From the gray and white mottled star behind Lin Mo, a miniature version of Lin Mo suddenly appeared. His soul left his body, taking its place in the domain of laws. The strange star protected the soul like a great sun. The soul pointed a finger, and the soul-severing sword flew out. The soul-severing sword flashed in the starry sky, already striking the grotesque giant. The speed of a soul attack far exceeded the speed of light, arriving almost instantaneously. However, being a God King realm soul treasure, it was still a bit difficult for Lin Mo to wield it with his true God rank 1 cultivation. According to Lin Mo's estimation, he could only unleash 3 strikes with all his might. The curse of time and the undead gaze descended simultaneously. With a triple soul attack, Lin Mo no longer gave the grotesque giant a chance, directly launching a final, decisive strike. The skeletal generals also focused their fire at this moment, tearing its body apart. The grotesque giant let out a final, dying scream, and exploded violently. Its obsession transformed into countless laws, darting wildly in the starry sky, before quickly being annihilated. Lin Mo felt the entire star system tremble slightly 3 times, as if it had become different from before. Ji Yu Qingshan suddenly pointed at the star. 4.4 inches Lin Jr. Brother, look. Lin Mo saw that the star had suddenly changed its position, flying in the starry sky. It had been manipulated by the grotesque giant earlier, changing its position. Now, it had actually returned to its original position. All things have a spirit. As the center of the star system, it is the star's instinct to repair the star system, Lin Mo said softly. Ji Yu Qingshan nodded. Master once said that in the great world, stars that have existed for a long time will develop intelligence and evolve into life. I didn't believe it before, but now it seems that it's true. Lin Mo had once seen a planet that had truly developed intelligence, and then charged wildly through the starry sky, slaughtering countless living beings in order to strengthen itself. So Lin Mo was not surprised that the star had a spirit. Let's go, we'll set up the star restoration formation. Lin Mo recalled the skeletal generals, now only the final step of the mission remained. At this moment, a skeletal general flew over, holding a huge law pearl. Chapter 1048. A sudden attack, instant kill. So big, Ji Yu Qingshan exclaimed again. The law pearl in front of her was over a meter in diameter, many times larger than the nail-sized law pearls they had obtained before. The law pearl emitted a hazy light, its outer shell a jade-like transparency. Law pearls always contained a law within them. This was related to the laws absorbed by the grotesque creatures. Different grotesque creatures absorbed different laws, and the resulting law pearls were also different. But without exception, the laws within the law pearls of grotesque creatures only at the true god rank 4 or 5 were not powerful. Only after hundreds of law pearls were fused together could they play a good role. But the law pearl in front of them was different. Through its surface, one could feel the power of law rolling inside like waves. Anyone could see that it was worth countless ordinary law pearls. Ji Yu Qingshan's eyes lit up. It contains the Starfire Law. The Starfire Law was the law of stellar flames, a variant of the Fire Law. However, it was much more powerful than ordinary variants, ranking among the top of the second tier of laws. It could be said to be a more advanced form of the Fire Law. Lin Mo said in a low voice, it's no longer an ordinary Starfire Law. After absorbing it for so many years, this law has shown a tendency towards manifestation. If used well, it may be transformed into a law star. It already had the qualifications to become a law star, but it still needed a series of processing and refining. In any case, it was invaluable. Even if all the law pearls this time were added together, their value could not compare to it. Ji Yu Qingshan chuckled, congratulations, Lin Jr. Brother, on obtaining a nice treasure. Ji Yu Qingshan's eyes were clear, without a hint of greed. Lin Mo smiled, senior sister doesn't want it. This can be exchanged for a lot of points. How could Ji Yu Qingshan not know what Lin Mo meant? Knowing that he was teasing her, she snorted softly, no. Lin Mo was not polite. Since that's the case, then I'll accept this law pearl. All the remaining law pearls belong to senior sister. Ah, Ji Yu Qingshan exclaimed, no, that's too much. They had cleared the entire star system, and there were more than 500,000 law pearls. If they were all exchanged for points, they could be exchanged for more than 5 million points. 5 million points, that was not a small amount, and Lin Mo was actually saying to give them all to her. Ji Yu Qingshan immediately refused. That's too much, I really can't accept it, and I basically didn't contribute this time. Seeing that Ji Yu Qingshan's attitude was very firm, Lin Mo took another step back. Then okay, we'll split it 50-50, senior sister Ji Yu, don't decline anymore. Ji Yu Qingshan still felt that it was too much, but Lin Mo said again, let's leave it at that, it won't be fun to say more. Seeing Lin Mo's attitude, Ji Yu Qingshan could only agree. For some reason, her heart felt warm. Millions of points, she didn't know how many missions she had to do to earn them. Unexpectedly, she had completed it with Lin Mo in just one mission. It was like a dream. The two came to the star, and Lin Mo took out the array disk of the star restoration formation. The array formation was activated, rapidly expanding in the starry sky, transforming into countless profound runes that landed upon the star. The light on the star instantly changed, the originally scattered stellar power rapidly converged, becoming more concentrated. The converged stellar power became even stronger, beginning to affect the galaxy. Lin Moyu sensed it for a moment, confirming that the galaxy had begun to slowly recover. Now that the strange creatures are gone and only a few obsessions remain, the galaxy should be able to recover under the influence of the stellar power. Ji Yu Qingshan's eyes were filled with smiles. I can feel it too, the galaxy is recovering. The star was like a heart, slowly beating. Each beat ejected intense flames. The flames transformed into magical power, spreading throughout the galaxy, becoming a force of restoration. At this moment, several clusters of flames exploded not far from Lin Moyu, turning into dazzling fireworks, incomparably beautiful. Ji Yu Qingshan narrowed her eyes, they are thanking us. Lin Moyu's eyes also held a smile, but suddenly his expression changed, be careful. He abruptly pulled Ji Yu Qingshan, bringing her behind him. A cold light appeared out of nowhere, transforming into a slender dagger, stabbing straight towards Ji Yu Qingshan's heart. Fortunately, Lin Moyu reacted quickly enough, pulling Ji Yu Qingshan behind him, and then blocking the attack himself. Ji Yu Qingshan let out a cry of surprise. She hadn't expected a sudden attack, and even more so, she hadn't expected Lin Moyu to block the attack for her. The skeletal armor shone brightly, shattering with a bang in the pure white light. The power of this attack was extremely great, reaching the 6th rank of true god. However, shattering the skeletal armor was already its limit. The remaining attack landed on Lin Moyu, and a flash of pure white light passed over his body, no longer able to cause him any harm. Spell linkage, automatic counterattack. The slender dagger was instantly trapped by the skeletal prison, followed by the sound of iron striking, as skeletal fangs and spears landed on the dagger simultaneously. The dagger struggled frantically, breaking free from the skeletal prison. Before it could escape, a large hand reached over and firmly grasped it. The dagger emitted a dazzling light, like growing thorns, wanting to pierce through Lin Moyu's palm. Lin Moyu's palm was as white as jade, with a glistening white light, ignoring the thorns of the dagger. On the dagger, a law spread into the distance. It was the owner of this law remotely controlling the dagger to launch an assassination attempt against him. Lin Moyu coldly snorted, you think you can leave? Dream on. He exerted force in his hand, and the undying law surged into action. The law domain opened, and within the domain, the undying law attacked from all directions, trapping the dagger like chains. At the same time, it was obliterating the law on the dagger. Stop! A furious shout rang out, and a black shadow flashed out of the starry sky, like a ghost, once again slashing out a ray of light towards Lin Moyu. 617 The ray of light carried a peculiar law that would affect a person's mind, even closing one's eyes was useless. In Ji Yu Qingshan's eyes, a moment of confusion appeared. But Lin Moyu was unaffected by any abnormal state. In his eyes, only boundless killing intent surged. Courting death, a cold snort filled with killing intent fell. Fusion spell, time curse. A scream rang out, and the black shadow retreated rapidly, fleeing in panic, disappearing from sight in the blink of an eye. Useless, you can't escape. Lin Moyu coldly snorted, and the starry sky was instantly filled with the undead legion. Not having time to use fusion spells, Lin Moyu directly threw out all the undead legion. The black shadow could avoid the naked eye and escape soul perception, but it could not escape the sight of the skeletons. In the skeleton's vision, the Black Shadow had nowhere to hide. The Undead Legion acted almost simultaneously, and countless attacks landed on the Black Shadow. The attacks of the skeletal soul archers directly reached the soul, dragon breath frantically burned in the starry sky, and all the undead had law halos under their feet, and their attacks also contained the power of law halos. All kinds of messy law attacks took effect simultaneously. Densely packed star arrows struck the person's body. The Black Shadow didn't even have time to scream before being torn to pieces on the spot. Only a few clumps of pitch-black flesh and blood were left floating in the starry sky. This was still Lin Moyu intentionally leaving behind. Chapter 1049, Returning, Fratricide. The battle ended almost in the blink of an eye. The Black Shadow's form and the dagger lost their owner, no longer vibrating, becoming ownerless objects. Ji Yu Qingshan then nervously asked, "Are you all right?" Lin Moyu shook his head, "I'm fine, he can't hurt me." Seeing that Lin Moyu was really all right, Ji Yu Qingshan finally breathed a long sigh of relief. The attack just now was fast and ruthless. If it were her, she was afraid it would be more bad than good. Ji Yu Qingshan felt moved. "Thank you." Lin Moyu shook his head, "He was coming for me, I implicated you." Ji Yu Qingshan didn't think so. No matter what, Lin Moyu had saved her. Ji Yu Qingshan looked at the slender dagger in Lin Moyu's hand and recognized its origin at a glance. This is a weapon of the Shadow Clan, called Soul Bursting Spike. It contains the Shadow Bursting Law, which can unleash an attack power far exceeding its own in an instant. Lin Moyu had actually guessed it was close to the truth. Zhu Tian had told him that the Demon Clan had put him on the must-kill list, and the Shadow Clan had taken the task of killing him. The Buddha Clan had also taken the task of killing him because of certain benefits. The first to act was Kongwen Buddha, but unfortunately, his soul was erased by the system. Now the Shadow Clan had finally acted. The Shadow Clan was bound by rules and could not use characters exceeding the target's realm. At that time, he was only in the Transcendent God realm, so the Shadow Clan used a Transcendent God 9th Order assassin. It's just that they didn't expect his strength to improve so quickly, and in the blink of an eye, he was already a true god. This guy not only failed the assassination but was also counter-killed by him. A piece of flesh and blood belonging to the Shadow Clan floated in midair. Lin Moyu flicked a spark of fire, and the flesh and blood quickly regenerated in the fire. Stellar level spell, Undead Resurrection. Ji Yu Qingshan had seen Lin Moyu's spell, so she wasn't too surprised this time. Undead Resurrection was too magical. Even a piece of flesh and blood wreckage from tens of millions of years ago could be reborn and restored to its peak state before death. The Black Shadow, after becoming a resurrected, loomed in and out of the starry sky. Their bodies were between the virtual and the real. Whether using the naked eye or soul perception, it was easy to overlook their existence. They were like a speck of dust in the starry sky, making people not take a second look. Once they used spells to hide themselves, it was even more difficult to detect. This was the Shadow Clan, said to be a peculiar race born from the dark shadows. After becoming a resurrected, the Black Shadow respectfully knelt before Lin Moyu, motionless. Ji Yu Qingshan also truly saw clearly that he was indeed a Transcendent God 9th Order guy. A Transcendent God 9th Order was able to unleash a true God 6th Order attack power in an instant. The Shadow Clan was indeed a bit unbelievable. Lin Moyu looked down at him. "What's your name?" "Number, 9923. "No name." Lin Moyu was a little strange. How could there only be a number? If he didn't know that the resurrected wouldn't lie to him, he would have thought he was talking nonsense. The Black Shadow replied with a hoarse voice, "No, the Shadow Clan doesn't have names until they reach God King. Only after reaching the God King realm and successfully assassinating a God King can they obtain a name." Lin Moyu found the regulation to be quite novel, as it was the first time he had heard of it. Not only him, but Ji Yu Qingshan was also hearing about it for the first time. After all, the Shadow Clan was too mysterious, and few could maintain contact with them. Lin Moyu issued a new order. "Tell me about the Shadow Clan." Number 9923 said, "I can't say. If I do, I will die immediately." Ji Yu Qingshan explained, "There are many races where the clansmen make a soul oath to prevent their race's secrets from being leaked. Once a secret is leaked, the soul will be instantly annihilated. To maintain their mystery, the Shadow Clan could indeed do such a thing." Lin Moyu stopped pressing, and changed the question, "Was it the Demon Clan who asked you to kill me?" 9923 shook his head, "I don't know, I only received orders from within the clan." Lin Moyu asked a few more questions, but basically, he knew nothing. 9923, a rank 9 supergod, was obviously not of high status within the Shadow Clan and knew very little. Even if he knew some information, he couldn't say it. Lin Moyu didn't want to ask any more, and instead issued an order: now you go back to the Shadow Clan and choose the geniuses of your Shadow Clan to assassinate. Kill as many as possible, and if captured, immediately self-destruct. Yes, sir. 9923 agreed without hesitation, and then he said, Master, can you give me back the soul detonation thorn? Without it, I can't return to the clan. If he couldn't return to the clan, he wouldn't be able to carry out Lin Moyu's orders. Becoming a reborn doesn't mean they can't think anymore. On the basis of being completely loyal to Lin Moyu, they would still think, and their intelligence would not be affected. Lin Moyu immediately returned the soul detonation thorn to him. Go. 9923 bowed respectfully to Lin Moyu, turned and left, disappearing without a trace in an instant. The Shadow Clan indeed had a knack for assassination, able to sneak into the human clan's world silently, avoiding the surveillance of the human emperor network. This alone surpassed many races. If he had come to assassinate Jiyu Qingshan, he would have probably succeeded. Unfortunately, he encountered Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's greatest strength was not his attack power, but his defense. Not to mention a rank 9 supergod, even a god king would have a hard time killing Lin Moyu. It was a pity that the Shadow Clan was restricted and could not send a more powerful assassin. At that time, Lin Moyu was only in the supergod realm, so they could only use assassins in the supergod realm. Otherwise, the human clan's experts would descend upon the Shadow Clan, and might even completely erase the Shadow Clan. Jiyu Qingshan said, how did you know it was the demon clan who wanted to kill you? Lin Moyu smiled slightly, because I'm on the demon clan's kill list. Jiyu Qingshan frowned, there aren't many people on the demon clan's kill list, what did you do? I killed some demon clan true gods on the battlefield. Lin Moyu said it lightly, but Jiyu Qingshan knew it wasn't that simple. Jiyu Qingshan said, this assassination by the Shadow Clan failed, but they won't stop there. Next time, it might be a rank 9 true god assassin, you have to be careful. Lin Moyu smiled, don't worry, it's not so easy to kill me, we should go back. Lin Moyu didn't take the Shadow Clan's matter to heart. Even if a rank 9 true god came to kill him, what if they could unleash the attack power of a god king realm? He wasn't made of clay. Lin Moyu was more interested in the human clan's list. Now that he had level 4 permissions, he could see several of the human clan's lists as long as he completed a level 4 mission. The human clan would rank everyone based on their performance. This ranking was done by the Human Emperor Network, so there was no possibility of cheating, and it was basically fair. The two gradually moved away from the star, and the temperature was rapidly decreasing. They crossed the asteroid belt and left the star system. Lin Moyu took out the War King Tower and, together with Jiyu Qingshan, quickly flew towards the teleportation array. While flying, Lin Moyu looked at the starry sky with piercing eyes. The starry sky was extremely quiet. Lin Moyu said in a deep voice, something's not right. Jiyu Qingshan also noticed that this starry sky was too quiet, unlike when they came. 10 million kilometers outside the star system, the laws were somewhat chaotic, so the teleportation array was set up 10 million kilometers away. But now, it was too peaceful here. Suddenly, the War King Tower shook violently, as if it had hit something, and was knocked hundreds of kilometers away. Chapter 1050. If you want to fight, then fight. A roar echoed from the starry sky. Disturbing my cultivation, interrupting my comprehension, you deserve to die. Lin Moyu and Jiyu Qingshan recognized Lu Hong's voice. Jiyu Qingshan's face changed greatly, it's Lu Hong. Lin Moyu smiled indifferently, I thought he would use more sinister methods. I didn't expect him to be so direct. He deliberately blocked their path, causing the War King Tower to crash into him. In this way, it could be said that he had made the first move against him. Even if there was a dispute afterwards, even if he was punished, it wouldn't be too severe. For Lu Hong, as long as he could get the Law God Flower, a little punishment would be worth it. This was taking advantage of the human clan's rules, without completely breaking them. The method wasn't brilliant, but it was very useful. Jiyu Qingshan said, I can ask my master to send a projection. As a disciple of a god venerate, how could Jiyu Qingshan not have any life-saving methods? Lin Moyu shook his head, No need, I'll deal with him, you stay in the War King Tower and don't come out. Lin Moyu didn't take Lu Hong to heart. Lu Hong was only a rank 1 God King. Unless he stood still and let him kill him, it would be difficult for him to kill him. If he wanted to leave, with the War King Tower, he couldn't stop him. However, Lin Moyu wasn't the kind of person who would be attacked without retaliating. He didn't care if he was from the Star System Lord's family, if he was provoked, Lin Moyu wouldn't be afraid. Lin Moyu came outside the War King Tower and said loudly, Senior Lu, if you want the Law God Flower, just say so. Is there any point in doing this? For a dignified God King to act like this, isn't it too demeaning? Lin Moyu's tone was full of mockery and contempt. Lu Hong's figure appeared in the starry sky. Don't talk nonsense, I was comprehending the law of starlight here, and I was at an important stage of enlightenment when you deliberately interrupted me. Those who obstruct one's path to enlightenment are irreconcilable enemies. Lu Hong was full of murderous intent, completely ignoring Lin Moyu's words. Lin Moyu actually knew from the beginning that he definitely wouldn't answer his words, as that would leave a handle. Lin Moyu also wouldn't answer his words, but instead said to himself, Senior, have you ever thought about what the consequences would be if you couldn't kill me? I advise Senior to stop, we are all from the human clan, I can pretend this never happened. Lin Moyu's words made Lu Hong's eyes roll rapidly. He looked at the War King Tower, and with his vision, he could naturally see that the War King Tower was a God King realm treasure. For a mere rank 1 true god to possess a God King realm treasure, needless to say, he must have some background. Lin Moyu's words were also something he had to consider. But when he thought of the Law God Flower, Lu Hong's eyes gradually became firm. Your reliance is this little tower, right? A God King realm treasure, but unfortunately, with your ability, you can't truly control it. I've said it before, you've obstructed my path to enlightenment, we are irreconcilable enemies. Lin Moyu's heart tightened, knowing that Lu Hong had decided to attack. In the great world, reaching true God was not difficult, but reaching God King was 1 in 10,000. 10,000 true gods might not produce a single God King. Someone like him, capable of becoming a God King, is invariably a person of unwavering will. Once a decision is made on something, it's hard to change. Lin Mo sighed, what if this junior is willing to hand over the Law God Flower to you, Senior? The killing intent on Lu Hong fluctuated for a moment, but the next second he realized something was wrong, gritting his teeth, what Law God Flower? This old man doesn't care. Lin Mo smiled helplessly, this guy wasn't falling for it. He just wanted to leave some traces in the Human Emperor network, to provide evidence for what was about to happen. Lin Mo said, if that's the case, then this junior won't sit idly by. Senior, good luck to you. Preposterous. Lu Hong snorted coldly, and with a wave of his hand, a large hand composed of starlight appeared in the starry sky, grabbing towards Lin Mo. Lin Mo plunged into the Battle King Tower and immediately moved away. The starlight hand immediately grabbed at empty air. The Battle King Tower instantly flew hundreds of kilometers away, then stopped again. A crystalline net appeared in the starry sky, wrapping the Battle King Tower and making it difficult to escape. Lu Hong's voice came, you can't escape. Needless to say, this net was naturally Lu Hong's doing. Lin Mo could see that the net was only a true God realm treasure, but under Lu Hong's control, it could still stop the Battle King Tower. This was the difference in realms. The power of a God King was too strong, even using a true God realm magic weapon could unleash power surpassing the true God realm. And his own power was too weak to bring the power of the Battle King Tower to its peak. If he were also a God King, then Lu Hong's net would be torn to shreds by his Battle King Tower. Lu Hong had seen this point, and that's why he was so fearless. What to do? Should I summon Master's projection? Ji Yu Qingshan held a jade pendant in her hand. As long as she crushed the jade pendant, she could summon the Night Wind God's projection to descend. Even a projection of a god Venerable could easily deal with Lu Hong. Seeking fresh flowers 0. There was no worry in Lin Mo's eyes. No need for now, I also want to see how much difference there is between me and a God King. Lin Mo left the Battle King Tower again, facing Lu Hong head on. Since Senior is so insistent, then don't blame this junior for being impolite. Now that things had come to this, there was no point in saying more. If you want to fight, then fight. Lin Mo pointed his finger, and the long-prepared skeleton god generals moved with a bang. Millions of skeleton god generals occupied the starry sky. Death Dragon Knights roared out from the dark depths with dragon roars. Elemental liches appeared, and various halos appeared under the feet of the undead army. Lich generals applied buffs, greatly increasing the undead army's combat power. The law of the domain arose abruptly, and strange stars slowly rose behind Lin Mo. The law of slaughter merged into the law of undead, turning into a law divine dragon, landing on the undead army. 0. 0. For a time, the entire starry sky was filled with killing intent. Lin Mo went all out, not weaker than Lu Hong in the slightest. Lu Hong, as a god king, had also been on the battlefield and seen the world. But seeing millions of undead legions, he was still taken aback. He could feel that the aura on the skeleton god generals had reached the 8th rank of true god, and was even no weaker than some 9th rank true gods. The key was that the number was too astonishing. Even an army was nothing more than this. This bastard has been playing the pig to eat the tiger. How can he possess so many puppets? What is his identity? Lu Hong cursed in his heart. If he had known this from the beginning, he might have given up on dealing with Lin Mo. Being able to possess so many puppets, Lin Mo's identity must be extraordinary. Even he had never thought that these might not be puppets, but just Lin Mo's spells. But now that things had come to this, Lu Hong had no choice but to act. Do you think you can deal with me by relying on these puppets? You underestimate the God King too much. As he spoke, Lu Hong's body burst out with brilliant starlight. Countless starlight shot from all directions. There were countless stars in the great world, and at this time, the stars in sight were shining, and their power was being used by Lu Hong. Starlight gathered in Lu Hong's palm to form a ball of starlight, as if grasping the stars. Then Lu Hong waved his hand, the starlight exploded, turning into thousands of starlight arrows, bursting open. As a god king, Lu Hong's control over the laws had exceeded 30%. The law of starlight in his hands had a kind of ability to turn decay into magic. Skeleton god generals and death dragon knights, as long as they were hit by the arrows of starlight, exploded into pieces on the spot. Chapter 1051, Endless Skeletons, Starlight Cage. With just one blow, over 10,000 skeleton god generals were lost. Lu Hong's voice resounded through the starry sky. Mere puppets, wanting to stop this old man is wishful thinking. Lin Mo didn't care, whether it's wishful thinking or not, you'll know in a moment. The skeleton god generals counterattacked fiercely, countless sword chi slashing out, crossing the starry sky and landing on Lu Hong. Lu Hong didn't dodge or avoid, his whole body flickered with starlight. The law of starlight turned into a shield, blocking the skeleton god generals' attacks. Lu Hong was like a bright star in the starry sky. 30% of the law's control allowed Lu Hong to wield it freely, possessing the ability to turn decay into magic. Useless, this old man's starlight armor, you can't break through it. Lu Hong's voice came loudly, and he burst out with starlight again. This time the power was even greater, and large swaths of skeleton god generals were crushed to pieces on the spot. Lu Hong's words demonstrated his own power and gave Lin Mo tremendous psychological pressure. Lin Mo stared at Lu Hong without saying a word. Lu Hong, protected by starlight, looked unscathed, not caring about the skeletons' attacks at all. But Lin Mo discovered that his starlight shield was not static, but weakening at an extremely slow rate. It's the law of undead. Lin Mo saw it, the starlight shield was being corroded by his law of undead. The corrosion speed was very slow, so slow that even Lu Hong himself couldn't feel it. But the law of undead was truly corroding Lu Hong's starlight shield. It's useful. Lin Mo's heart moved, and the skeleton god generals' offensive became even more fierce and crazy. Millions of skeleton god generals, 200,000 death dragon knights, surrounded Lu Hong tightly. Those skeleton god generals and death dragon knights who were killed by Lu Hong would be transferred to the outermost periphery and resurrected silently. Lu Hong himself didn't even notice this. He just felt, why couldn't these skeletons be killed far away? After attacking for who knows how many waves, the skeletons hadn't decreased at all. After advancing to True God, the fusion of open black lens bracket undead close black lens bracket reached 110%. Open black lens bracket undead 110% fusion. Members of the Undead Legion will not die after suffering a fatal attack, they will be reborn to their peak state. Each undead has 5 chances to be reborn within 150 seconds. Close black lens bracket. 150 seconds, can be reborn 5 times. Lin Mo only needed to master the rhythm, giving the skeleton god general enough rest time, ensuring that the same skeleton didn't die more than 5 times within 150 seconds. Repeating this cycle, the skeletons would be inexhaustible. Gradually, Lu Hong also noticed something was wrong. The starlight shield around him was much dimmer than before, but the number of skeletons didn't seem to decrease at all. Upon closer inspection, he was shocked to discover that the skeletons he had killed were actually reviving perfectly intact. Resurrectable puppets. Lu Hong was greatly alarmed. He racked his brains for a long time but couldn't figure out which family could have created such skeletons. Lin Mo took in Lu Hong's expression, knowing that Lu Hong had discovered the secret of the skeletons, resurrection. He discovered it, a bit later than I expected. Seems he isn't very smart. But so what if you've discovered it? Do you have a way to break it? Lin Mo's eyes were playful, not worried in the slightest. Lu Hong was surrounded by layers upon layers of skeletons. The starlight shield blocked all attacks, but it was also being consumed. If this continued, he was very likely to be dragged to his death by Lin Mo. If the strength difference wasn't too great, enough ants could kill an elephant. Each of Lin Mo's skeleton god generals had the battle power of a peak rank 8 true god. Even if they couldn't revive, they were enough to give Lu Hong a headache. If they could also revive continuously, Lu Hong even felt a sense of despair. His gaze was stern, his soul crossed the starry sky, locking onto Lin Mo. Capture the leader first, he shouted softly, and a huge spear composed of starlight appeared in front of him. Lu Hong held the spear, broke through the encirclement of the skeleton god generals with irresistible force, and charged towards Lin Mo. The skeleton god generals feared no death, and instead of retreating, they rushed forward to block Lu Hong. Lu Hong's momentum was exhausted after charging less than 10 kilometers, and he was once again surrounded. Lu Hong broke through several times in a row, but was blocked each time. There were too many skeletons, and they were not afraid of death at all, using their bodies as shields, stubbornly blocking Lu Hong. Lin Mo slowly retreated, continuing to increase the distance. After several attempts, the distance between Lu Hong and Lin Mo not only did not decrease, but increased. Lu Hong was furious. "Boy, you've angered me." In his hand, a battle blade appeared. The battle blade exuded the aura of a God King realm. It was a God King realm magic weapon. Having failed to break through, Lu Hong finally used his magic weapon. Lin Mo's eyes narrowed slightly. A God King using a magic weapon would greatly increase his combat power. Star-shattering slash. Lu Hong shouted loudly, and the battle blade in his hand drew a brilliant starlight. In the starry sky, countless stars were brighter than ever before. Countless starlight laws gathered on this blade. The blade light shone across the starry sky, and the starry sky in front of Lu Hong was swept away in a large area. This attack destroyed at least 100,000 skeleton god generals. There were no more skeletons between Lin Mo and Lu Hong. Lu Hong grinned, "You're dead." Saying that, he raised his battle blade and rushed towards Lin Mo quickly. His soul locked onto Lin Mo, and he raised his hand and slashed. In his opinion, Lin Mo was only a rank 1 true god, and if it weren't for these skeleton puppets, he could be destroyed with a wave of his hand. The wings of the undead manifested, and soul power poured in, instantly causing Lin Mo to disappear. The soul lock was severed, and Lu Hong's blade struck empty. Lu Hong didn't expect that Lin Mo could sever his soul lock, and his eyes searched the starry sky like lightning. Soul power roared out like sea waves, covering the starry sky. The moment Lin Mo revealed his figure, Lu Hong pounced again. Lu Hong, who had reached the God King realm with a speed of 0.8, completely surpassed Lin Mo in terms of speed. Lin Mo could only rely on the wings of the undead to constantly sever Lu Hong's soul lock in order to barely avoid his attacks. Lu Hong's laughter filled the starry sky. "Stinky brat, you're pretty good at dodging, but I don't believe you can dodge forever." Lu Hong had already made up his mind to eliminate Lin Mo. In the Battle King Tower, Ji Qingshan clenched the jade pendant, looking very anxious. She tried several times to crush the jade pendant to summon the projection of Nightwind God. But Lin Mo's previous words still echoed in her ears. Lin Mo told her personally that there was no need to worry, and that Lu Hong couldn't kill him at all. Lin Mo dodged Lu Hong's attacks again and again. Gradually, starlight shot from all directions, weaving a large net in the starry sky. Lin Mo was like prey caught in a net, unable to dodge any longer. Lu Hong laughed loudly. "Let's see how you escape." Chapter 1052, Killing Lu Hong, True God Reverses God King. Lu Hong had unknowingly set up a huge net. The net occupied the starry sky of thousands of kilometers, cutting off all of Lin Mo's dodging space, making it impossible to avoid. Lu Hong laughed wildly and began to close the net. Lin Mo's expression remained unchanged. his heart stirred, countless skeleton god generals and death dragon knights disappeared instantly, and appeared in front of him in the next moment. Using the skeleton god generals and death dragon knights as shields, he protected himself within them. The starlight turned into net threads, shrinking. Wherever it went, the space rumbled. All the undead legions that touched the starlight instantly turned into dust. Ji Yu Qingshan's pretty face changed drastically. She felt that Lin Mo was in danger. Just as she was about to crush the jade pendant, Lin Mo's voice suddenly sounded in her ears. "It's okay, I won't die." Lin Mo's words made Ji Yu Qingshan hesitate again. After thinking about it, Ji Yu Qingshan decided to believe Lin Mo. Just like she had believed him before, she believed that Lin Mo would definitely be able to solve it. The wings of the undead vibrated quickly, strange stars rose behind him, and the laws of the domain opened, shooting towards Lu Hong. The net woven by the starlight laws had no loopholes in all directions. The only breakthrough point was Lu Hong. Lu Hong naturally knew that he was the only breakthrough point. Seeing Lin Mo flying over, he laughed loudly. "I'll send you on your way." The battle blade was raised, and a brilliant starlight cut through the starry sky. Star-shattering slash. Lu Hong's signature skill, star-shattering slash. This attack was more powerful than any previous one, and even a huge star appeared on Lu Hong's body. The appearance of the spell star indicated that he was really using all his strength. This attack was infinitely close to the level of a rank 2 God King. At this time, Lin Mo was only 100 kilometers away from Lu Hong, which could be said to be very close. At such a close distance, even without the cage composed of starlight laws, it would be difficult for him to dodge. However, Lin Mo never thought about dodging. When Lu Hong drew his sword, the soul body suddenly jumped out of Lin Mo's strange star. The soul held the soul-cutting sword in his hand, pointed his finger, and the soul-cutting sword disappeared with a whoosh. In the next second, Lu Hong froze there. The soul-cutting sword flew into Lu Hong's soul world, wanting to kill Lu Hong's soul. At the same time, Lin Mo tapped his finger, fusion spell, time curse. In the starry sky, a million-meter undead eye appeared. 3 soul attacks landed on Lu Hong almost simultaneously. Lu Hong spat out a mouthful of blood, his face turned extremely pale, and his eyes were filled with horror. He never expected that Lin Mo would suddenly use soul attacks, and that the attacks would be so violent. Especially that small sword. Although it is also a God King realm magic weapon, there are still differences between magic weapons of the same realm. His own war blade was only low grade in the God King realm, but Lin Mo Yu's small sword was at least high grade in the God King realm, and it was still a soul magic weapon. This startled Lu Hong. Soul-type magic weapons were originally very rare, and high-level soul-type laws in the God King realm were even rarer. Even he didn't have one, so how did Lin Mo Yu possess it? Shattering Star Slash also engulfed Lin Mo Yu at this moment, and the law net composed of starlight laws also contracted to the limit. Under the double attack, Lin Mo Yu had almost no chance of survival. In the end, I am still the winner. Lu Hong laughed loudly, but his laughter contained some lingering fear. The soul attack just now, if it had been a little stronger, he would have been in grave danger. Lu Hong's soul was injured, and a soul garment was almost shattered. While he was rejoicing, he did not notice that the eye of the undead in the starry sky had not disappeared. The undead in the distance, after experiencing several collapses, revived again. At this time, a faint light flashed in the starry sky, and then a small sword flashed in the starry sky. Lu Hong, who was laughing wildly, suddenly froze in place. A look of disbelief appeared in his eyes. "How are you not dead?" After only 5 words, the light in Lu Hong's eyes quickly faded, eventually becoming dim. Lu Hong was dead, his soul was annihilated by the soul-severing sword, and he died completely. Lin Mo Yu breathed a long sigh of relief. He doesn't yet have the ability to fully control the soul-severing sword, and at most only has the power for 2 or 3 strikes. Moreover, the closer the distance, the greater the attack power of the soul attack. He pretended to be forced into a desperate situation by Lu Hong, pretending that he had no choice but to break through head-on, and under Lu Hong's full attack, when he thought he could kill himself, he launched a fatal blow. He forcibly withstood Lu Hong's attack, and the undead legion collectively collapsed 4 times in an instant. 3 times were because of the shattering star slash, and the other time was because of the net woven by the starlight laws. But 4 collapses were not enough to kill him, and even his talent was not activated. Lu Hong also suffered Lin Mo Yu's soul attack, and his soul was injured. Then, when Lu Hong thought he had won, and was careless, he launched another soul attack. 2 consecutive soul attacks finally killed Lu Hong. Everything was planned by Lin Moyu in advance. The soul-severing sword is indeed a high-grade soul magic weapon in the God King realm, and its attack power is extremely strong. Coupled with his 4th grade soul, killing a first-level God King was so easy. However, it was also because he designed it well. If he had used it like this from the beginning, Lu Hong would have probably escaped long ago. If a God King wants to escape, Lin Moyu asked himself that he had no ability to chase. On this point, Lin Moyu and Lu Hong's thoughts were the same: either don't do it, or do it to the end, do it decisively. Lin Moyu collected Lu Hong's body, the body of a God King realm. Whether it is used to make a revived being, or used as material for corpse explosion, it is very good. With Lu Hong's death, his war blade had become an unowned object, and Lin Moyu unceremoniously took it. It is still a God King realm weapon, and it can always be sold for some money. At this time, the true God realm net-like magic weapon that trapped the War King Tower had also scattered in the starry sky, becoming an unowned object. Lin Moyu naturally took it into his bag without politeness. Lin Moyu also pulled off Lu Hong's storage ring. Lin Moyu was very curious about the storage ring. This is different from the small world he was born in. In his small world of 867, as long as he successfully changed jobs, no matter what profession, he would have a storage space. As the level increased, this space could continue to expand. Lin Moyu originally thought that people in the big world were also like this, but the result was not. People in the big world do not have personal storage space. They refine some accessories similar to rings, bracelets, and even necklaces. These accessories have storage space inside, which can be used to store items. And the sizes are different. The small ones are not as big as his personal storage space, while the large ones can hold an entire planet, or even an entire galaxy. Just from this point, Lin Moyu felt the difference between his small world. At that time, Lin Moyu was also very strange. The use of space was visible everywhere in the big world. Why is there no storage space? Personal storage space is much more convenient than storage rings and the like. He also specifically checked the information. There are countless small worlds in the big world, and no one in any small world has such storage space. There are a few special races that have their own space in their bodies. But that is other races. The human race does not have it. He can be considered the most special one, except for the group of guys who came out of the last era. Unfortunately, that group of guys seems to have disappeared, their whereabouts unknown. Lin Moyu has not been able to find any information about them. Chapter 1053, Criminal Investigation Team, Red Light. The teleportation array slowly sounded, and Lin Moyu and Jiyu Qingshan returned through the teleportation array. Not long after they left, a figure appeared in the starry sky. Lu Fei looked pale and trembled. He never thought that Lu Hong, as a God King, would be killed by Lin Moyu. A little guy who was clearly only at the first level of True God actually killed Lu Hong, who was at the first level of God King. This is simply defying the heavens. Lu Fei did not dare to hide, did not dare to show his face at all, and did not even dare to come to collect Lu Hong's body. It was not until Lin Moyu and Jiyu Qingshan left that he dared to come over. His eyes were filled with fear, and at the same time, there was a strong hatred. Lin Moyu, this matter is not over. Killing someone will pay the price, he said fiercely, activating the teleportation array to leave. After he left, another person revealed his figure from the void. His aura was faint, almost inaudible. True God First Level reverses the killing of God King First Level. What a heaven-defying combat power. The Domain Lord completely underestimated him. The Lu family will definitely not let him go. This matter must be immediately told to the Domain Lord, he said, taking a step and disappearing. At the moment he stepped out, a virtual river of laws appeared under his feet, and he also revealed the aura of a God Venerable. For God Venerables, the teleportation array is only the most labor-saving way, not the fastest way. The intermediate teleportation array, the transmission distance per second is only 10 light years. Under the full speed of God Venerable, the speed is much faster than the intermediate teleportation array. Returning to Star 50, Jiyu Qingshan has not fully recovered. Lin Moyu's reversal of killing God King was too stimulating to her, and she felt a little unreal. That is God King, even the weakest God King, but how to say it is also God King? It is not certain that 1 out of 10,000 true gods can become a god king. How was he killed by Lin Moyu like this? Lin Moyu is only the first level of true god, the two are separated by a full 8 small realms, plus a big realm. Fighting across borders. God his mother fights across borders. Fighting across realms refers to a 9th level transcendent battling a 1st level true god, or a 9th level true god battling a 1st level god king. It's not asking you, a 1st level true god, to fight a 1st level god king. Lin Moyer not only fought but also killed the god king. What is this all about? No one would believe it if you told them. Lin Moyer looked at the dazed Ji Qingshan, feeling somewhat amused. Senior sister Ji, we've arrived. Oh, Ji Qingshan responded woodenly, but her feet didn't move at all, she was still standing in the teleportation array. Helpless, Lin Moyer could only pat Ji Qingshan's shoulder and said with a soul voice, Senior sister Ji, we've arrived. Ji Qingshan shuddered, finally regaining her senses this time. Junior brother Lin, where have we arrived? Lin Moyer smiled wryly, Suzaku star 50-1. Ji Qingshan gave an, oh, and looked around for a long time, finally confirming that she had indeed returned. Ji Qingshan transmitted her voice, Junior brother Lin, did you really kill Lu Hong? Lin Moyer smiled, do you want me to show senior sister his corpse? Ji Qingshan quickly shook her head, no, it's just that the following matters will be very troublesome. The death of a god king is nothing, the problem is that the god king was killed by his own kind. The Human Emperor Network has always been very strict about such matters. As far as Ji Qingshan knows, someone will come knocking soon. There is a team in the human race that specializes in handling such matters, called the Criminal Investigation Team. The Criminal Investigation Team rarely mobilizes, but everyone who knows them is afraid of them. They are stern and ruthless, and the team members are powerful. Ordinary members are god kings, and the captains are god venerables. Moreover, they only accept instructions from the Human Emperor Network and do not accept orders from anyone. Even the domain lord of the Suzaku Starfield cannot interfere with them. Lin Moyer was not clear about the Criminal Investigation Team, but Ji Qingshan was very clear. Ji Qingshan told Lin Moyer about the Criminal Investigation Team. Lin Moyer shrugged helplessly, let's take it one step at a time. I believe the Human Emperor Network is fair. Ji Qingshan nodded, anyway, I'm also involved in this matter. I'll face it with junior brother Lin. Lin Moyer smiled and said nothing more. The two entered the mission center to hand in the mission. This was Lin Moyer's first mission after reaching level 4 permission. After completing this mission, he could unlock some new powers. The most important of these is the ability to see some of the human race's rankings. Arriving at the counter of the mission center, the two lined up for a while. There were many people in the mission center, not only those with level 4 permission handing in missions but also those with level 3 permission. In fact, level 4 permission already allows for handing in missions anytime, anywhere, but because Lin Moyer was handing in a mission with level 4 permission for the first time, he still went to the counter. After completing this mission, the Human Emperor Network will truly acknowledge Lin Moyer's ability, and he can then accept missions anytime and anywhere. Many people with level 4 permission also accept missions in this way, which is more convenient and eliminates the need to come to the mission center. But these are only for ordinary missions. There are still some special missions that require coming to the mission center to accept. There were many people, and as the two lined up, Ji Qingshan also whispered to Lin Moyer, explaining some of the key issues. The two were almost pressed together, looking like an affectionate couple, attracting many envious glances. Ji Qingshan's beautiful appearance and slightly aloof temperament attracted attention wherever she went. Lin Moyer's temperament was also extraordinary, and as the Lord of the world, possessing the power of faith and the power of the world, made him seem somewhat different. Standing together, the two were indeed a match made in heaven in the eyes of many. After waiting in line for a long time, it was finally their turn. As the leader of the mission, Ji Qingshan communicated with the staff behind the counter and initiated the mission submission. Two beams of light shone down from the mission center, enveloping the two. This was the light from the Human Emperor Network, the purpose of which was to synchronize the two's information with the Human Emperor Network. Although the Human Emperor Network monitors the entire human world, it cannot achieve real-time monitoring. Some information also needs to be synchronized afterward. The staff member politely said to Ji Qingshan, the mission you want to submit is cleaning up the non-life star system Suzaku 100182, is that correct? Ji Yu Qingshan took out 1,000 law beads. That's right, these are my law beads. Lin Moyer also took out the corresponding law beads and placed them on the counter. The staff member put away the law beads, verifying, please wait. Ji Yu Qingshan said, we completed the final goal of the mission, cleaning up all the strange creatures and placing a high-level rejuvenation star array in the star. Lead as the staff member raised his head in surprise, are you sure? Ji Yu Qingshan gave a nod, sure. The staff member quickly operated a few times under the counter and said at the same time, please wait a moment, I will verify it for you. Lin Moyer found that the light covering him had changed, seeming to become heavier. Obviously, the Human Emperor Network was verifying the mission. Lin Moyer didn't know the specific verification mechanism, nor did he know how the Human Emperor Network did it. But for thousands of years, the Human Emperor Network had never made a mistake. Especially in the mission area, it was extremely accurate, and there was no such thing as claiming credit fraudulently. Fortunately, the words spoken at the counter were confidential, and outsiders couldn't hear them at all. Otherwise, it would definitely cause a great uproar. The mission verification time was a bit long, and Lin Moyer and Ji Yu Qingshan were not in a hurry, waiting patiently. Suddenly, the light above their heads turned bright red, and an alarm sounded in the mission center at the same time. Ji Yu Qingshan's pretty face changed greatly. In the mission center, countless people looked towards the two. Chapter 1054. The criminal investigation team arrives. Have you been on the battlefield? Lin Moyer didn't feel any threat from the red light, but he felt very uncomfortable, as if he had been branded with a mark. The red light not only shone on his body but also on his soul. The entire soul world was filled with a strange red color. What's going on? Lin Moyer didn't know the specific meaning of the red light, but he knew that this thing was not friendly. Ji Yu Qingshan seemed to have expected this to happen, but she didn't expect it to come so quickly. She explained, this is the Human Emperor Network marking us. Once we are marked, we are considered dangerous people. No matter where we go, the criminal investigation team can find us, unless we leave the human world. I knew the criminal investigation team would find us, but I didn't expect it to be so fast. Lin Moyer wasn't worried, instead, he was a bit curious, so it's just a mark. I thought it was something else. Ji Yu Qingshan was more aware of the horror of the criminal investigation team than Lin Moyer. The criminal investigation team is very overbearing and doesn't reason much. No, I have to tell my master. This time, Lin Moyer didn't stop her. He wasn't arrogant enough to confront the rules of the human race. If Nightwind God Venerable came forward, things might be much simpler. While Ji Yu Qingshan was contacting Nightwind God Venerable, Lin Moyer turned to the staff member and said, how is it? Is the mission verified? The staff member was already a bit surprised. This red light meant that Lin Moyer and Ji Yu Qingshan were both dangerous individuals. Mission verification was one thing, and the dangerous mark was another. The two did not conflict. The staff member quickly checked the mission verification status. The mission verification is still in progress, but the Human Emperor Network has a message saying that after the mission verification is completed, the rewards will be sent directly to you. You don't need to wait here. Lin Moyer gave a nod, that's good too. Ji Yu Qingshan withdrew her consciousness from the Human Emperor Network at this time. I've already contacted my master, and my master is on his way. I don't know when the people from the criminal investigation team will arrive. I don't know if my master will make it in time. Lin Moyer suddenly looked up at the entrance of the mission center and said calmly, I'm afraid he won't make it in time. They're here. 3 people walked into the mission center. The 3 people's clothes were exactly the same, spotless white robes, blindingly white. The 3 men were very similar in height and appearance, like triplets. After they entered, their eyes swept across the mission center, instantly locking onto Lin Moyer and Ji Yu Qingshan. Everyone made way, as if they were very afraid of them. The 3 did not hide their identities, their names and levels were clearly displayed. Xing Feng, Xing Huo, and Xing Shan. All 3 names had the surname Xing. Lin Moyer wondered if it was a characteristic of the Xingqia squad to deliberately take such names. All 3 were at the 6th rank of the God King realm, with extremely powerful auras. Among the God Kings Lin Moyer had seen, only Qingjian Daoran was more powerful than them. As for someone like Lu Hong, who was at the 1st rank of the God King realm, Lin Moyer felt that any one of the 3 could kill Lu Hong with just a finger. The 3 came to Lin Moyer and Ji Yu Qingshan. The leader among them, called Xing Shan, frowned as he sized up Lin Moyer and Ji Yu Qingshan. Lin Moi, Ji Qingshan, the names are correct. One is at the first rank of true God, and the other is at the second rank of God true. Xing Shan found it very strange. According to the information they had received, Lin Moi and Ji Qingshan were suspected of killing Lu Hong. But Lu Hong was at the first rank of the God King realm, and these two were far from reaching the first rank of God King. How could they possibly kill Lu Hong? Although he had doubts in his mind, Xing Shan still asked as usual, "Did you kill Lu Hong?" Lin Moi frankly admitted, "Lu Hong did indeed die by my hand." He actually admitted it, but this made Xing Shan even more puzzled. Lin Moi was only at the first rank of true God. To say that he could kill Lu Hong, who was at the first rank of God King, Xing Shan would be the first to disbelieve. But Lin Moi insisted on admitting it, and admitted it so openly. Xing Shan glanced at Lin Moi. "Since that's the case, then come with us." Lin Moi asked, "Where to?" Xing Shan snorted coldly, "Naturally to where you should be going. Don't ask too much. From now on, don't say a word without our permission." Overbearing, this was the overbearing nature of the Xingqia squad. Lin Moi knew clearly that they were being polite now. If he made any unusual movements, the consequence would probably be a direct attack. Whether they would beat him up, cripple him, or kill him on the spot was hard to say. The three of them exuded a faint murderous aura. Lin Moi believed that they had killed people before. In his opinion, in addition to doing some things on the surface, the Xingqia squad must also be doing things in the dark. This kind of murderous aura could not be accumulated by killing just one or two people. Lin Moi looked at Ji Qingshan and nodded to each other. They followed the people from the Xingqia squad and left together. During this time, neither of them spoke. Ji Qingshan knew the rules of the Xingqia squad. If they didn't do as they said, the consequences would probably be very serious. Leaving the mission center, the three took Lin Moi and Ji Qingshan away from Star 50-1. A God King class warship was parked in the starry sky. Xing Shan and the others entered the warship in silence. Lin Moi and Ji Qingshan also flew in. Although the people from the Xingqia squad were overbearing, they were not unreasonable and did not make things difficult for them further. When Ji Qingshan entered the warship had no reaction. But when Lin Moi entered the warship, a light suddenly shone on him from within the warship. Xing Shan and the others were stunned for a moment. Xing Shan looked at Lin Moi. "You have military merits." Lin Moi hummed and released part of his information. The information of a third-rank warrior was revealed. After seeing it, Xing Shan continued to ask, "Third-rank warrior, tell me, how did you get your military merits? Have you been on the battlefield?" Seeing that Lin Moi had military merits, Xing Shan's attitude suddenly became much better. Lin Moi said, "I went to the battlefield once, did some tasks, and killed some true gods of the demon race." Lin Moi said it lightly, but everyone knew how dangerous the battlefield was. Lin Moi's current cultivation was only barely meeting the requirements to go to the battlefield, belonging to the cannon fodder among cannon fodder. But Lin Moi's military merits were not fake. A third-rank warrior represented 3,000 military merits. This military merit was not a small amount for someone at the first rank of true god. Xing Shan thought that Lin Moi might be the murderer who killed Lu Hong, feeling that Lin Moi might be a genius who could fight beyond his level. Xing Shan said, "Since you have been on the battlefield and have military merits, then you have contributed to our human race. We will definitely investigate this matter clearly. But now, I still need to trouble you to come back to the branch with us." Lin Moi said, "As a member of the human race, this is what I should do. I will explain this matter clearly." Xing Shan nodded and said no more. Xing Feng and Xing Huo, who were beside him, were like wooden puppets, not saying a word from beginning to end. They didn't even have any changes in expression. Lin Moi felt a little strange seeing this. He felt that Xing Feng and Xing Huo did not seem like real living people. The warship started and instantly rushed into subspace, advancing at a speed far exceeding the speed of light. Chapter 1055. The human race must hold their heads high. In the mission center, tens of thousands of people watched Lin Moi and Ji Qingshan being taken away by the people from the Xingqia squad, knowing that these two were finished. As everyone knew, most of the people who were taken away by the Xingqia squad did not have a good ending. The human race had extremely severe punishments for those who killed their own kind. For a time, people were talking about it, wanting to know what had happened. The news quickly spread from the mission center of Star 50-1 to the outside world. The names of Lin Moi and Ji Qingshan were also quickly known to people. Lin Moi never imagined that he would become famous in this way. The news also quickly reached the ears of Lin Tang in the 50th star system. Lin Tang was slightly stunned when he heard the news. Lin Moi killed someone. Impossible. Based on his understanding of Lin Moi, he felt that Lin Moi was not the kind of person who would cruelly kill his own kind. Lin Moi had always given him the feeling of being gentle and refined, speaking calmly and slowly. He didn't seem like the kind of person who would do such a thing. He felt that something was wrong and immediately contacted Zhu Tian. The Suzaku Star Region branch of the Xingqia Squad was located near the Suzaku 3rd star system. It did not enter the star system, but was independent outside the star system. From the outside, the branch of the Xingqia Squad was somewhat similar to the Temple of War. The shadow of the Temple of War could be vaguely seen. The fact was also true. The god of war, Xiao Zontian, not only founded the Temple of War, but also led the establishment of the Xingqia Squad. The meaning of the existence of the Xingqia Squad was to eliminate the internal strife within the human race, and to conduct supervision with the methods of punishment. The warship stopped outside the main hall of the Xingqia Squad. Xing Shan and the others took Lin Moi and Ji Yu Qingshan into it. Because Lin Moi was a third-rank warrior, Xing Shan and the others were quite polite to Lin Moi. Moreover, Lin Moi and Ji Yu Qingshan had not made any resistance. The main hall of the Xingqia Squad was filled with a solemn atmosphere, and the atmosphere was very depressing. Lin Moi felt the law of slaughter, and it was a very powerful law of slaughter, far more powerful than the law of slaughter he controlled. The law of slaughter enveloped the entire hall. If anyone dared to mess around in the hall, this law of slaughter would immediately activate and directly kill the troublemaker. This law of slaughter should belong to a god venerable, and not an ordinary god venerable. Lin Moi thought in his heart, observing the situation in the hall. The hall was a bit empty, and the lights were also slightly dim. At the very top of the main hall, a ball of fire less than a meter in diameter provided light for the entire hall of judicial affairs. Lin Moyu could tell that this ball of fire was unusual, filled with murderous intent. If anyone entered it and stirred trouble, the fire would become a sharp and relentless means of attack. Directly above in the hall, a figure sat cross-legged. It was a divine venerable. Yan Tu, a divine venerable of the 8th order. This setup reminded Lin Moyu of the high and mighty courtrooms of ancient times in his previous life. And Yan Tu was the magistrate in the courtroom. My lord, Lin Moyu and Ji Yu Qingzan have been brought here, Xing Shan reported respectfully to Yan Tu, who was seated in the main position. Then, Xing Shan continued, Lin Moyu has military merits, is a third-order warrior, and has been on the battlefield. Xing Shan stated Lin Moyu's identity crisply and without any unnecessary words. It seemed that within the judicial affairs team, having been on the battlefield entitled one to different treatment. Yan Tu, who had kept his eyes closed, slowly opened them, seemingly casually glancing at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu, this seat asks you, was Divine King Lu Hong killed by you? Lin Moyu did not deny it. Indeed, he died by my hand. He didn't explain further. Based on his guess, although the judicial affairs team was domineering, they were also very fair and would naturally give him a chance to explain. So there was no need to rush. Yan Tu was somewhat surprised to see Lin Moyu admit it so readily without offering any explanation. Why don't you explain? Lin Moyu said, because you haven't asked yet. Ha ha. Yan Tu chuckled. It was the first time he had met someone so interesting. Generally, people who came here were eager to explain the reasons and vehemently deny it. Someone like Lin Moyu was a rare sight. You are quite interesting. A true god of the First Order, reversing and slaying a divine king of the First Order, your strength is extraordinary. You've also been on the battlefield, possessing military merits, you are indeed a talent. It's good that you admit it. This seat has already confirmed through the Human Emperor network that Lu Hong indeed died by your hand. After Yan Tu finished speaking, he looked at Ji Yu Qingzan. Little girl, do you have anything to say? Ji Yu Qingzan then took out a piece of jade. Senior, what I have to say is all here. Oh, Yan Tu's mind stirred, and a lot transformed into a large hand, taking the jade from Ji Yu Qingzan's hand. The jade was activated, immediately projecting a scene. The scene recorded the entire process from Lu Hong's arrival and threats to Lin Moyu, to the eventual conflict and Lu Hong's death. This was recorded by Ji Yu Qingzan at Lin Moyu's request. When Lu Hong entered the star system with the aura of a divine king, Lin Moyu guessed that something was wrong. So he used a memory stone to record the entire process. Lin Moyu was no longer a greenhorn who had just entered the great world and knew nothing. Seeking fresh flowers 0. Now he had some understanding of the great world, at least he knew about things like memory stones. After watching the entire process, Xing Shan, Xing Feng, and Xing Huo on the side were all somewhat surprised. Lin Moyu had actually reversed and killed a divine king, without using any schemes or tricks, but rather a head-on kill. This showed that Lin Moyu's strength was truly outstanding and unmatched by ordinary people. After Yan Tu finished watching, he asked in a deep voice, "You set up the astral revival array on the star?" Lin Moyu said, "Didn't you see it just now, senior?" Yan Tu continued to ask, "Those skeletons, are they all your spells, and not puppets?" Lin Moyu pointed a finger, and a skeleton god warrior appeared beside him. "With your insight, senior, you should be able to tell. Actions speak louder than words." Yan Tu could indeed see that what Lin Moyu was using was magic, not puppets. 0. Yan Tu chuckled, "You have quite the nerve, not many people dare to speak to me like this." Lin Moyu said, "If one is upright, one naturally stands tall. I believe senior also wishes to see the human race standing tall with their heads held high, rather than groveling wretches." Yan Tu's eyes lit up slightly. "Well said. Xing Shan, go bring Lu Fei here." Xing Shan immediately accepted the order and walked into the back hall, returning with a person shortly after. This person was Lu Fei. According to the rules, since Lu Fei had reported Lin Moyu for murder, he naturally had to be present. The human race does not accept anonymous reports, the reporter needs to confront the reported. Compared to Lin Moyu and Jiyu Qingzan, Lu Fei was not so calm. As soon as he arrived in the hall and saw Yan Tu, he immediately knelt on the ground, trembling all over. Yan Tu exuded the aura of a divine venerable, an aura that ordinary people could not withstand. Lin Moyu's soul was strong, and Jiyu Qingzan spent years with divine venerables, so as long as it wasn't intentionally directed at her, it didn't matter. Yan Tu snorted lightly, looking down on Lu Fei somewhat. "Lu Fei, according to you, Lin Moyu used puppets, is that correct?" Lu Fei prostrated on the ground. "Yes, my lord, Lin Moyu used countless puppets and cruelly murdered my clan uncle." Yan Tu continued to ask, "But according to Lin Moyu, Lu Hong deliberately provoked the incident, deliberately blocked the road, and deliberately let Lin Moyu's flying treasure crash into him, intending to use this as an excuse to kill Lin Moyu and seize the law god flowers." Lu Fei shook his head repeatedly, "Absolutely not. Whether or not, we'll know with a test." A majestic voice sounded from outside the hall, and Zhu Tian and Divine Venerable Yi Feng entered the hall together. Chapter 1056, The Forbidden Drug, Truth-Seeking Pill. Lu Fei knelt on the ground, carefully looking back, and was almost scared to death. It turned out that it was Zhu Tian who had come. As someone from the Vermilion Bird Star territory, how could he not recognize the domain lord Zhu Tian? When Yan Tu saw Zhu Tian, he slowly got up, cupping his fist in greeting to Zhu Tian. "Greetings, domain lord, Divine Venerable Yi Feng." Zhu Tian also cupped his fist towards Yan Tu. "Captain Yan Tu, how have you been?" Divine Venerable Yi Feng smiled slightly. "Yi Feng greets fellow Taoist Yan." Yan Tu asked strangely, "Why do you two have the leisure to come to this desolate place of mine today?" Zhu Tian chuckled, "Little friend Lin is a friend of mine despite our age difference. If he has something, I naturally have to come and take a look." Divine Venerable Yi Feng glanced at Jiyu Qingzan. "Qingzan is my personal disciple. If my disciple has something, the master naturally has to come." The words of the two made Yan Zun slightly startled. Unexpectedly these two both had backgrounds. Lu Fei had been completely frightened. He realized he had provoked the wrong person. One was a friend of the domain lord, the other was a personal disciple of a 510 divine venerable. In the human race, personal disciples are even closer than parents and children. Had he known this, he would have been beaten to death before he provoked Lin Moyu and Jiyu Qingzan. Divine Venerable Yi Feng's eyes revealed doting on Jiyu Qingzan. Anyone who wasn't blind could see it. And Zhu Tian, needless to say, as the domain lord, he was high above and had never heard of any friends despite their age difference. Now he said that Lin Moyu was his friend despite their age difference. This was an affirmation of Lin Moyu. Yan Tu guessed that Lin Moyu should be a junior that Zhu Tian was very optimistic about. This idea was natural. After watching the scene recorded by the memory stone, Lin Moyu's heaven-defying combat power had already left a deep impression in his heart. This kind of genius naturally needed to be cultivated with all efforts. However, the Judicial Affairs team also had its rules. Yan Zun slowly opened his mouth. Domain Lord, fellow Taoist Yifeng, no matter what relationship these two have with you, you should understand the rules of our judicial affairs team. Zhu Tian said, naturally, everything will be done according to the rules. I will not interfere with you. But I have something here that might be useful. Zhu Tian flicked his finger, and a pill flew out, arriving in front of Yan Tu. Yan Tu looked over. Truth-seeking pill. That's right, it is the truth-seeking pill. Zhu Tian nodded in response. Yan Tu's eyes gradually turned cold. I thought the truth-seeking pill had disappeared long ago. I didn't expect there to be any left. Domain Lord, this pill is a forbidden drug. Zhu Tian said, indeed, there aren't many left. At least in the Vermilion Bird Star territory, it has become extinct. Then how does the Domain Lord explain the origin of this pill? With Captain Yan's discerning eyes, he should be able to see the clues, right? Zhu Tian didn't answer directly but instead asked a question. Yan Tu looked at the soul-seeking pill before him, feeling the aura on it, and suddenly his expression changed. This pill comes from... He was interrupted by Zhu Tian halfway through his sentence. Since Captain Yan already knows, there's no need to say it. Let Lu Fei take this pill, and the truth will be revealed. Is this his meaning? Yan Tu asked again. Zhu Tian nodded. That's right. At this moment, Lin Mo Yu's position in Yan Tu's eyes changed once again. If he was just a junior favored by Zhu Tian, that wouldn't be much. But if he also favored Lin Mo Yu, then it would be completely different. No matter how detached and superior the criminal investigation unit was, Yan Tu didn't hesitate. With a thought, the soul-seeking pill exploded on the spot, turning into countless tiny lights that shot into Lu Fei's body. This pill could also be taken directly, but Yan Tu's method was even more forceful. Lu Fei groaned and fell to the ground, unconscious. Lin Mo Yu whispered to Ji Yu Qingshan, what kind of pill is the soul-seeking pill? Ji Yu Qingshan shook her head, I've never heard of it either. A pill that can be called a forbidden drug must be extraordinary. Soul-seeking pill, judging from the name, seems to be about seeking truth and asking questions. But Lin Mo Yu knew it couldn't be that simple. Yan Tu explained, the soul-seeking pill isn't about seeking truth and asking questions, but about seeking the truth. It's a type of pill born on the battlefield. The reason for its birth is too complicated. Lin Mo Yu was very surprised that Yan Tu would explain these things to him. Even if he were to say it, it should be Zhu Tian who does so. He saw another layer of meaning in Yan Tu's eyes. Yan Tu clearly wanted to get closer to him. Not necessarily for Zhu Tian's sake, but for the sake of the one who brought out this pill. In the human race, strength is respected. To be able to make someone like Yan Tu put down his status, that person's identity must be extraordinary. Since that was the case, Lin Mo Yu gave Yan Tu enough respect. I don't know what this pill is used for, and why it is listed as a forbidden drug. This junior is very curious and hopes that the senior can tell me a thing or two. It's comfortable talking to smart people. Yan Tu was very satisfied with Lin Mo Yu's attitude. The person who takes this pill will have their soul confused and will tell everything they know truthfully, without any falsehoods. However, the side effect is that the soul confusion will be permanent. After taking this pill, this person will never be able to improve again. It is precisely because of this that this pill was listed as a forbidden drug after the war and can no longer be refined. So that's what it means. Soul-seeking pill, those who don't know about it might be deceived by its name. Such a huge side effect is indeed not good. Moreover, now that there is the Human Emperor Network, the truth of most things can be found out. The role of the soul-seeking pill is greatly reduced. In addition to the existence of side effects, it is normal to be sealed and destroyed. Lin Mo Yu glanced at Lu Fei, who was unconscious, and felt that this guy was really pitiful. However, there must be something hateful about a pitiful person. Lin Mo Yu would not sympathize. Zhu Tian's methods are really extremely sharp, hitting the nail on the head. Lin Mo Yu bowed to Yan Tu, thank you, senior. Then he bowed to Zhu Tian and Nightwind God, sorry for the trouble, Domain Lord and Senior Nightwind. Zhu Tian smiled and said, there's no need to be like this. Among the human race, there are always some dirty things that are difficult to prohibit. Lin Mo Yu naturally understood this principle. Even if Zhu Tian didn't say it, he would have understood it long ago. Often, the calmer the sea, the more turbulent the undercurrents. Several minutes later, Lu Fei woke up. His eyes were dull, without any light. His soul was confused, and now no matter what he was asked, he would answer truthfully. Yan Tu asked, Lu Fei, explain the whole thing clearly. Lu Fei trembled and immediately told the whole story. The facts were the same as what Ji Yu Qingshan recorded with the Shadow Stone. Lu Fei knew that Lu Hong was stuck in a bottleneck and was searching the world for the Law Divine Flower. So as soon as he had news of the Law Divine Flower, he immediately told Lu Hong. After Lu Hong arrived, he couldn't obtain it from Lin Mo Yu, so he designed a plan to kill Lin Mo Yu in order to seize the Law Divine Flower. He just didn't expect that he would be killed by Lin 4.6 Mo Yu in the end. Not only did he not seize the Law Divine Flower, but he also lost his life. Who would have thought that a mere true God First Order could actually kill a God King? It's simply heaven-defying. After listening to Lu Fei's words, everything was clear. Zhu Tian gave Yan Tu a look, which meant, you take care of it. Yan Tu was a little embarrassed at this time. According to what Lu Fei said, although he was the one who called Lu Hong, the subsequent events were all planned by Lu Hong. In fact, it had little to do with Lu Fei. But Lu Hong was already dead, and Lu Fei was at most guilty of false accusation. Based on this alone, the punishment would not be too severe. But Lin Mo Yu's identity was special, and if the punishment was light, Zhu Tian would not be satisfied. Zhu Tian was, after all, the domain lord. What's more, he had to consider Lin Mo Yu's feelings and hope to satisfy Lin Mo Yu. Suddenly, a light lit up from the starry sky, passed through the criminal investigation hall, and fell on Lin Mo Yu and Ji Yu Qingshan. Chapter 1057, Light of the Human Emperor, top of the potential list. The light came from the Human Emperor Network. It was golden, not dazzling, soft but very bright. Light of the Human Emperor. Night Wind God exclaimed in a low voice, with a look of shock on his face. The light of the Human Emperor is the Human Emperor's affirmation of certain people. Only those who have perfectly completed an extremely difficult task or have made a real contribution to the human world can receive the affirmation of the light of the Human Emperor. And the meaning behind the light of the Human Emperor is also extraordinary. Zhu Tian and Yan Tu were not surprised by the sudden light of the Human Emperor. Zhu Tian had already received a report from his subordinates, knowing what Lin Mo Yu had done. And Yan Tu had just read the Shadow Stone and also knew what Lin Mo Yu and Ji Yu Qingshan had done. It was reasonable for the two to receive the illumination of the light of the Human Emperor. Night Wind God asked in surprise, Qingshan, what task did you and little friend Lin do together? Before Ji Yu Qingshan could answer, a voice suddenly sounded in the hall. It was the voice from the Human Emperor Network. Without a trace of emotion, full of seriousness and impartiality. Lin Mo Yu and Ji Yu Qingshan successfully completed the Level 4 task, clearing the Suzaku 100,182 non-life star system. After inspection, the completion of the task reached 100% and was rated as perfect. Both of them received additional rewards at the same time, and the rewards are as follows. 1. Each person is rewarded with 10,310 ordinary points. 2. Each person is rewarded with 500 days in the Human Emperor cultivation field, without level restrictions. 3. Each person is rewarded with 1 Human Emperor contribution point. As the 3 rewards were announced, the light of the Human Emperor also quickly dimmed and disappeared in a blink of an eye. Lin Mo Yu was a little curious about what the Human Emperor contribution point was. It was a new thing that he had never come into contact with. He knew that the entire operation system of the human race was far more complicated than imagined, and what he had come into contact with was just the tip of the iceberg. Now, another new thing has appeared. Lin Mo Yu was just curious, and his expression didn't change at all. He looked very calm. In contrast, Ji Yu Qingshan was different. 100,000 ordinary points were still manageable, she could remain calm. But upon hearing the second reward, a full 500 days in the Human Emperor training ground, with no level restrictions, it was an unimaginable reward for her. She had been doing tasks all this time, and the Human Emperor training ground time she had accumulated was only about 200 days. She never expected that this one task would exceed her previous years of accumulation. How could she not be excited? As for the third reward, the Human Emperor contribution points, she, like Lin Mo, had never heard of them and had no concept of what they were. As the saying goes, if you don't understand, ask. Since Divine Venerable Yefeng was right beside her, Ji Yu Qingshan didn't think twice and asked, Master, what are Human Emperor contribution points? Divine Venerable Yefeng was also in a very good mood at this time. These are good things. Ji Yu Qingshan said, are they better than time in the Human Emperor training ground? Divine Venerable Yefeng immediately said, "They are not on the same level at all, there's no comparison. Don't even mention 500 days in the human emperor training ground, even 1000 days, 2000 days, are not as good as these human emperor contribution points." Ji Yuqingshan was even more shocked, covering her small mouth. So precious. But what are they actually used for? They have many uses, but for you right now, the biggest use is to save your life. With human emperor contribution points, you will be under the close protection of the human emperor network within the human territory, and it will be difficult for others to harm you. Fellow Taoist Yan, I wonder if what I'm saying is correct. Yan Tuo revealed a wry smile. He knew that Divine Venerable Yefeng was very dissatisfied with his interrogation of Ji Yuqingshan, but he was also helpless, he was just following the rules. Yan Tuo said, "That is indeed the case. As long as you haven't committed a major mistake like betraying the human race, human emperor contribution points can save your life." Lin Mo understood after listening to Yan Tuo's explanation. Human emperor contribution points had a very significant effect. Within the human race, they were equivalent to a certificate. Proof that one had made contributions to the human race and had been recognized. Even if one made some minor mistakes, as long as it wasn't a matter of principle like betraying the human race, the punishment could be greatly reduced, avoiding death. Like this time, if he had human emperor contribution points, even if he really killed Lu Hong, he would at most receive some punishment, not face eternal damnation. This was a life-saving charm, and also a kind of competition between the strong. It gave the strong some conditions to resolve personal grudges. Compared to challenge tokens and the like, human emperor contribution points were even more powerful. However, generally speaking, no one would use their precious contribution points on personal feuds. Because the real use of contribution points was in the future, not now. Lin Mo judged from the limited information that the real use of human emperor contribution points should be in the army or in the central god city. With the completion of the task, Lin Mo completed the 9th task in the chain of tasks, which was also the first level 4 task. He was recognized by the Human Emperor Network and gained some new permissions. Lin Mo received a reminder from the Human Emperor Network. The Starfield ranking feature has been unlocked, please check it yourself. Battlefield missions have been unlocked, please check them yourself. Lin Mo opened the ranking with curiosity. Potential ranking, Vermilion Bird Starfield. Combat Power Ranking, Vermilion Bird Starfield. Contribution Ranking, Vermilion Bird Starfield. Bounty Ranking, Vermilion Bird Starfield. There were a total of 4 rankings, each with an independent function and a detailed explanation. Each ranking only covered the Vermilion Bird Starfield and had nothing to do with the other 3 starfields. Among them, the potential ranking represented the potential ranking of everyone in the Vermilion Bird Starfield. The ranking only ranked those below level 5 permission and whose cultivation was below Divine Venerable. Lin Mo saw his name, ranking at the top. Lin Mo was a little surprised that he was actually first on the potential ranking. Lin Mo didn't know the specific evaluation criteria for the potential ranking. The Human Emperor Network didn't announce it. But the Human Emperor Network naturally had its own evaluation system, and it was very fair. Lin Mo also found Ji Yuqingshan on the potential ranking, ranked 66th. She should have been 65th before, but now she was 66th because of him. The second ranking was the Combat Power ranking. The Combat Power ranking also referred to people below level 5 permission and whose cultivation was below Divine Venerable. Lin Mo didn't find his name in this ranking. The top few were all Divine King Realm cultivators. Generally speaking, when reaching the 4th or 5th level of the Divine King Realm, the permission could basically be raised to level 5. After level 5, they would join the total ranking of the entire Starfield and would no longer be included in the Vermilion Bird Starfield ranking. Lin Mo guessed that the one at the top of the Combat Power ranking should be around the 3rd level of the Divine King Realm. Then the actual Combat Power was definitely more than the 3rd level of the Divine King Realm, perhaps reaching the 6th or even 7th level of the Divine King Realm. Fighting beyond one's level was not his patent. He could do it, and others could definitely do it. The human race never lacked geniuses. The 3rd ranking was the contribution ranking. The ranking also only included those with level 4 permission and who were below Divine Venerable. The contribution ranking, as the name suggested, counted those who had made contributions to the human race. Here, Lin Mo found his name again. Ranked 8th, while Ji Yuqingshan was ranked 9th. The last one was the bounty ranking. Inside were enemies who had feuds with the human race, a full 100 names, all of whom were aliens. Each name was followed by the other party's race, strength level, and why they were on the list. Each name on this list was a task. If one could find and kill them, they could complete the task and receive a reward. This ranking was also matched with the newly added battlefield missions. Ji Yu Qingshan's surprised voice came from her ear, "Junior brother Lin, you're on the list." Chapter 1058. Two Choices, Two Paths. Ji Yu Qingshan almost jumped up happily, "Junior brother Lin, you're first on the potential ranking." Hearing Ji Yu Qingshan's voice, Lin Mo felt a warmth in his heart. He didn't expect that Ji Yu Qingshan was always paying attention to his affairs. She knew that he was completing a level 4 task for the first time and would unlock the ranking function. So Ji Yu Qingshan had been paying attention and discovered the changes on the ranking as soon as possible. Lin Mo said, "I have already seen it, thank you for your concern, senior sister." Ji Yu Qingshan suddenly realized something, her pretty face turned red, and she was a little embarrassed. Ji Yu Qingshan's performance was seen by Zhu Tian and Divine Venerable Yefeng. They were experienced and knew what was going on at a glance. The two looked at each other and saw a hint of a smile in each other's eyes. Divine Venerable Yefeng had always looked at Lin Mo differently, thinking that Lin Mo was a talent that could be made. Even if Ji Yu Qingshan really got along with Lin Mo, as long as Ji Yu Qingshan herself was willing, he, as the master, would not have any objections. Yan Tuo smiled, "Congratulations, little friend Lin, for being ranked first on the potential ranking." With Lin Mo's heaven-defying combat power, Yan Tuo was not surprised at all that he was rated as first on the potential ranking. Lin Mo was very modest, "Senior Yan is too kind, potential doesn't mean anything." Yan Tuo thought that Lin Mo was too modest, how could it be? The potential ranking is still very accurate. Anyone who can be on the potential rankings top 10 will definitely become a divine venerable in the future. What's more, you are first on the potential ranking. Lin Mo shook his head, "There is a saying that a dead genius is no longer a genius. Only by living to the end can one laugh to the end." Zhu Tian laughed loudly, "Little friend Lin is right, only by living to the end can one laugh to the end." Yan Tu knew that Lin Mo Yu was alluding to Lu Hong, and also alluding to the matter of the criminal investigation team. Yan Tu said in a deep voice, not bad, but with little friend Lin's combat power, it won't be easy for others to kill you." At this time, he glanced at Lu Fei, who was standing beside him in a daze. This matter started entirely because of Lu Fei. Lu Hong is dead, but this matter has not ended. The killing laws in the hall fluctuated slightly, and a dark law fell, and Lu Fei's body dissolved silently, just like ice and snow melting. Strangely, throughout the entire process, Lu Fei did not feel any pain, and always looked like a wooden chicken. His body turned to ashes, but Lu Fei's soul was preserved. Yan Tu took out a jade bottle and directly sucked Lu Fei's soul into it. Then a trace of flame flew out from the fire mass in the hall and entered the jade bottle. Immediately, Lu Fei's screams came from the jade bottle. Yan Tu said, "Lu Fei's soul will be burned by the stellar essence fire for 100 years, this is the punishment he will receive, diaresis." When he said this, he looked at Lin Mo Yu, meaning to ask, "Is little friend Lin still satisfied?" Lin Mo Yu said to Yan Tu, "Thank you, senior, for enforcing the law impartially." Yan Tu breathed a sigh of relief, he knew that Lin Mo Yu was already satisfied. Solving a Lu Fei in exchange for the satisfaction of a future god venerable is a worthwhile deal. Although he doesn't take ordinary god venerables seriously, who can know what level Lin Mo Yu will reach in the future? If he enters the god city and achieves even greater achievements, no one can say for sure. And throughout the entire process, he carefully observed Lin Mo Yu's expression. Lin Mo Yu was too calm, so calm that even he felt terrible. 100 years of soul refining is not an ordinary punishment, but Lin Mo Yu witnessed it with his own eyes, yet he didn't feel anything. It can be seen that Lin Mo Yu is a decisive person. In addition to his appearance when he killed Lu Hong, Yan Tu concluded that Lin Mo Yu will go very far in the future. Zhu Tian also said in a deep voice at this time, "Regarding the Lu family, I will take care of it. The Lu family has gone too far in this matter and needs to be taught a lesson." God Venerable Yefeng said in a low voice, "I will go too. The Lu family bullied Qingzan this time, and I will also let them know that I am not easy to mess with. The Lu family is the master of the Suzaku no 33-star system, and there are also god venerables sitting in the family. But with Zhu Tian present, the Lu family will definitely not be able to make waves. And it is obvious that God Venerable Yefeng is not afraid of the Lu family. Yan Tu also said in a low voice, it is indeed necessary to beat them down a bit. In recent years, those large families have relied on their own power to do some things they shouldn't do. Although they have done a good job and there is no evidence, there is a gradual trend of being excessive. If possible, this seat can send people to assist. Zhu Tian waved his hand, there is no need to trouble Captain Yan. I will naturally handle this matter properly. There can be no more infighting among the human race. Lin Moyu knew that the Lu family was in trouble this time. It is estimated that Zhu Tian will not let them go easily, and he is afraid that he will kill the chicken to warn the monkey. The human race can have undercurrents and competition, but it must not be excessive. Just like the Law God flower this time, even if Lin Moyu discovered the Law God flower, before Lin Moyu completely obtained it, others could come and snatch it. As the saying goes, treasures are occupied by those who are virtuous, and the virtue here refers to strength. In the process of fighting for treasures, it is no problem to accidentally injure someone. Even if there is a dispute afterwards, it will at most be some insignificant small punishments. The human race has always encouraged fair competition. But if you use some shady methods to kill people and seize treasures, that is not allowed. Things like Lu Hong have happened a lot in recent years. Zhu Tian knew that these were all good deeds done by the younger generation of large families. He wants to use this opportunity to rectify them properly. Lin Moyu and Ji Yu Qingzan left the criminal investigation team unscathed, and Lin Moyu and Ji Yu Qingzan also said goodbye. Ji Yu Qingzan was a little reluctant, but she also had her own tasks to do and had to go. The chain quest, which is the quest to enter the God City, she has to continue to do it. Entering the God City is her greatest dream in this life and must be completed. Lin Moyu sincerely wished Ji Yu Qingzan, I wish senior sister will successfully enter the God City in the future. After this mission, the relationship between the two became much closer, and they spoke much more casually. Ji Yu Qingzan clenched her small fist, her cheeks slightly red, I hope that in the future, I can see junior brother Lin in the God City. Lin Moyu smiled, definitely. Cultivators don't have too many scenes of reluctance to part. After a few simple and straightforward words, Ji Yu Qingzan left on God Venerable Yefeng's flying boat. Lin Moyu then boarded Zhu Tian's mount. Zhu Tian's mount is a small warship with a length of only 100 meters. Although the warship is small, its combat power is not weak, possessing the combat power of the God Venerable realm. It is no worse than those huge God Venerable level warships. There is only one such warship in the entire Suzaku star field. The warship started, but did not enter the subspace, but directly opened the space jump. Each Li Hao Hao jump can span hundreds of light years. And the time for each jump is only 1 second. A few seconds later, Lin Moyu found himself in an unfamiliar starry sky. Zhu Tian said, this is the Suzaku no 10-star system. Suzaku no 10-star system, one of the only 10 high-level star systems in the Suzaku star field. Its prosperity is far from comparable to that of middle-level or low-level star systems. Being in it is like two different worlds. As a high-level star system, Suzaku no 10-star system has a full 30 planets. Among them, 9 are life planets, 20 are resource planets, and 1 is a special military-industrial planet. Because there are as many as 20 resource planets, the resources in the star system are very rich. These resource planets not only provide a large amount of resources needed for cultivation, but also have formations arranged on them. The planet magnifies the starlight law, and if someone wants to comprehend the starlight law, it will be easier. This is also why there are so many starlight law controllers in the human race. Among the 9 life stars, star number 1 is the world of those with level 4 or above permissions. Only by obtaining level 4 permission can one be eligible to enter star number 1. Star number 2 and star number 3 do not have this restriction, but they are also the world of cultivators. The remaining 6 planets belong to ordinary people. Ordinary people are only relative to the great world. If they are placed in a small world, each of them is a strong person. In the small world where Lin Moyu was born, a demigod is the top powerhouse. But in the great world, a demigod is just an ordinary person, not even a cultivator. Lin Moyu entered star 10-1 and went to the trading center. It is very rare for someone like him, who is only at the first level of True God 943. Here, everywhere is filled with existences at the 5th rank of True God or higher, and God Kings are also commonly seen. In the short time since Lin Moi arrived, less than half a day, he has already seen 2 god emperors. Lin Moi is also considered an anomaly here. Zhu Tian brought him here because it offers direct transportation to the front lines. Of course, if Lin Moi chooses another path, Zhu Tian will send him back to star number 50. Zhu Tian did not force Lin Moi, and didn't even tell him which path to choose. He simply explained the advantages and disadvantages of both paths, allowing Lin Moi to make a free choice based on his own heart. Lin Moi chose to go to the battlefield almost without hesitation. In the small world, he fought his way up from the battlefield, and now in the great world, he still chooses this path. Although this path is dangerous, it is familiar. Lin Moi likes to reminisce, and he feels comfortable walking the old road. But before that, Lin Moi has to deal with some things first. Such as the 250,000 laws of pearls on his person. Keeping these things is useless, it's better to exchange them for points and see what else can be bought. The battlefield is different from other places, the danger is greatly increased. Although Lin Moi is confident, he is not arrogant. In case something unexpected happens on the battlefield, he must ensure that he can survive. The trading center maintains a sense of ancient vicissitudes, exuding a wild aura. Not only is the aura ancient, but even the appearance of the buildings is very ancient. This must be tens of thousands of years old. Lin Moi sighed softly, merely a building brought him no small shock. Little fellow, is this your first time here? This trading center is more than 10,000 years old. Lin Moi saw a kind-looking old man, who was looking at him. The old man hid his level, and Lin Moi could not see the old man's name and level. However, Lin Moi instinctively felt that this old man was not simple. The aura emanating from him, like this trading center, was ancient, vicissitudes of life, and had an extraordinary depth. Lin Moi looked at him as if he were looking at a bottomless vortex. With awe in his heart, he bowed to the old man, "Please give me some advice, senior." The old man smiled kindly, "This building has existed for 100,000 years. It was not like this back then, little fellow, look at the top, try to see what you can see." Lin Moi looked in the direction the old man pointed. The trading center's building was the most ancient triangle, and on the top, there should have been a prominent pointed corner. But now, the pointed corner seemed to be broken off. Lin Moi could feel that the trading center was not made of ordinary materials, but was refined like a magic weapon. Even if he went all out, it would be difficult to hurt it in the slightest. According to Lin Moi's estimation, even a god king would not be able to shake it. But now its top has been cut off, showing that the strength of the person who did it is extraordinary. Then Lin Moi's eyes suddenly shrank, and his soul suddenly saw a picture. An alien race, with its arm transformed into a sharp sword, swept across the starry sky, drawing out an incomparably brilliant sword energy. The sword energy cut through the starry sky, crossed countless distances, and stars collapse in the sword energy. Finally, the sword energy fell on the trading center's building, cutting off the top of the building before exhausting itself. At that time, the building shone brightly, erupting with amazing power, barely blocking this sword that crossed countless distances. The picture disappeared, and Lin Moi came back to his senses. The old man chuckled, "What did you see?" Lin Moi said in a deep voice, "A strong man with a long arm transformed into a sword." The old man interrupted Lin Moi, "That is the Sword Clan. This wound was caused by a peak god emperor expert of the Sword Clan. The time is too long ago, if I remember correctly, it should have been 120,000 years ago." Lin Moi was shocked, he did not expect it to be so long ago. 120,000 years have passed, and he could still feel the sharpness of the sword energy from the breakage. Lin Moi asked, "Why not repair it?" The old man smiled and asked, "Why repair it?" Lin Moi thought for a while, "Indeed, there is no need to repair it. Senior, so many people come and go here, why did you tell me this?" The old man laughed out loud, "Am I not allowed to be bored? I didn't just tell you, don't be sentimental. Aren't you going to the trading center? Go, go." After the old man finished speaking, he slowly closed his eyes, putting on a look of closing his eyes to rest. Lin Moi felt that the old man seemed a little strange, and sighed that many strong people more or less have some quirks. He didn't think much about it, bowed to the old man again, and turned to walk into the trading center. After Lin Moi entered the trading center, the old man reopened his eyes. This young man is still very polite. As he spoke, the old man had disappeared, and no one around noticed the old man's existence. Lin Moi himself did not notice that when he was talking to the old man, he did not attract anyone's attention at all. It seemed that everyone deliberately ignored him, and even ignored the old man. Lin Moi entered the trading center, and the trading center here was different from the ones he had seen before. The trading center of low-level planets is like a market. The middle-level planet is a 9-story tower. And when it comes to high-level planets, the trading center has become a garden. Lin Moi then realized that the triangular building he saw was just a gateway. Behind the gateway was a huge garden. The garden occupied a vast area of land, with mountains and rivers. If it weren't for the stalls, it would be no different from a paradise on earth. The entire trading center was enshrouded by an array, and nothing could be seen or entered from the outside. Only through the gate can one enter it and get a glimpse of it. Chapter 1060, Killing and Setting Fire, a Golden Belt. Lin Moi was very sure that no spatial arrays were used here. Only some concealment arrays were used to hide the trading center. It really occupied a vast area, and Lin Moi advanced along the garden path, walking at least dozens of kilometers but still far from the end. On both sides of the path, every 10 steps or so, you could see a small stall. There was no crowding, and the stall owners never hawked, each of them closing their eyes and resting, looking like they didn't care if you bought or not. Although it was called a small path, it was actually very wide, and it was no problem for a dozen people to walk side by side. Lin Moi walked all the way, and found that most of the items sold here were things he didn't understand. However, whether it was materials or magic weapons, tools, or pills, they all exuded an extraordinary aura. At least they were true God Realm items, and many of them were good things from the God King Realm. Lin Moi gradually learned the rules here. When trading here, there is no need to ask the stall owner what something is. Either you can understand it yourself, or you can hand it over to the detection technique. If you like something, just ask for the price. The stall owner will quote a price. If it is suitable, buy it. If it is not suitable, put it down and leave. There is no bargaining. So the transactions here became very quiet, even exuding a refined aura, unlike the trading centers he had seen before, which always had the aura of a market. Lin Moi was not in a hurry. He walked and stopped, and saw a lot of novel things along the way, and also used the detection technique to check, which was considered to broaden his horizons. But so far, he has not seen what he needs. He has the Battle King Tower and the Soul-Slaying Sword, and he doesn't seem to have much need for magic weapons. After walking a full 100 kilometers, Lin Moi finally saw the trading platform. The appearance of the trading platform showed that he had arrived at the real trading center. Here was a huge lake, and trading platforms stood along the shore of the lake. In the center of the lake, there was a row of houses, arranged in a circle. Lin Moi knew that those were trading rooms. When the number of transaction points reaches a certain level, they must be transferred to the trading room for trading. On lower planets, exceeding 1000 points requires going to the trading room. On medium planets, it increases to 10,000 points. Now being on a higher planet, Lin Mo estimates that at least 100,000 points are needed before going to the trading room. Considering the law beads on his body, and the things he got from Lu Hong, the transaction amount can exceed 1 million points, so he definitely needs to go to the trading room. Lin Mo casually chose a trading table, activated it, and directly put the battle knife he got from Lu Hong into it. The trading table has a built-in space array. No matter how big the item is, it will shrink so that the trading table can accommodate it. The array slowly rotated, flickering with faint light, constantly jumping, sometimes bright and sometimes dim. Obviously, it is identifying the battle knife. A minute later, a message popped up. Low-grade magic weapon under the God King realm, Shattered Star Battle Knife, worth 200,000 points, is it for sale? Unexpectedly, this battle knife is so valuable. Thinking about it, it is a magic weapon of the God King realm after all. Even if it is only a low-grade magic weapon, its value is not low. It is useless to keep this battle knife for myself, so I immediately chose to sell it. The trading table immediately lit up with a faint light, and a small teleportation array appeared under Lin Mo's feet. Lin Mo did not resist and allowed the teleportation array to send him away. The next second, he found himself in an antique room. Lin Mo knew that this was the house he saw by the lake, located in the center of the lake. It is also the trading room in the trading center. In the trading room, the fragrance of tea floated, and a beautiful woman with an elegant temperament was sitting behind the tea table. Beside her hand, a disc was spinning, which was the trading plate used by the exchange. Lin Mo naturally sat down, his eyes swept across the room. The overall layout of the trading room is no different from that on the lower star system. It's just that the materials used are more superior, and they are all high-quality materials that have been refined and are of great value. You can even feel the aura of several laws from these materials. If you can live here for a long time, you will be able to comprehend the laws much faster. Senior, do you want to sell this shattered star battle knife? The trader has an excellent temperament, and her voice is gentle and pleasant, making people never tire of listening. Even the most irritable person can be quiet here. The trader's name is Lu Lan, and her cultivation level is only Super God Tier 9. Basically, everyone who comes here is her senior. Lin Mo picked up the teacup and slowly took a sip. It's not just a battle knife, there are other things. Lu Lan said softly, senior can take them out together, value them together, and trade them at the same time. Lin Mo waved his hand gently, and a large net appeared on the tea table. The big net exudes the aura of a true god realm, and it is also a trophy obtained from Lu Hong. After some appraisal by Lu Lan, this is a top-grade magic weapon of the true god realm, worth about 50,000 points. Lin Mo then took out some more things, all of which were obtained from Lu Hong. After Lu Hong's death, his storage ring became Lin Mo's trophy, and the things inside also belong to Lin Mo. Lu Hong's wealth is not very rich, and there are not many things, so he took them all out for sale this time. Seeking fresh flowers, Lin Mo didn't even want the storage ring. Dead people's things are unlucky. All the things added up can be sold for 400,000 points. It's also a considerable gain. Compared with doing tasks, the degree of earning points in this way is much faster. As the saying goes, killing people and setting fire to make a fortune, many human cultivators go to the battlefield for the purpose of killing alien races and robbing things. Alien things can also be sold for points, which is a good way to make money for people who lack money. It is indeed easy to make a fortune, but it is also very dangerous. Lu Lan was very patient from beginning to end, appraising the things Lin Mo took out one by one, and at the same time, she did not forget to add tea and water for Lin Mo. Senior, these things look like they belong to our human race. ... 0. Lu Lan said softly, as if casually mentioning it unintentionally, and did not ask Lin Mo for any answer. Lin Mo smiled slightly, isn't your rule not to ask where the items come from? Lu Lan covered her mouth and giggled, it seems that senior knows us very well. I've done a few transactions, I know a thing or two. Lin Mo chuckled, still not answering Lu Lan's question, and Lu Lan didn't ask any more questions. She put away all the things and completed the transaction in a blink of an eye. The transaction is complete, senior can check it, the points should have arrived. Lin Mo checked, and 400,000 points had indeed arrived in his account. Lin Mo took a sip of tea, then let's start the second transaction. Lu Lan's eyes lit up, senior, do you have anything else to sell? The larger the transaction amount, the more benefits she will get. For most true gods, 400,000 points is not a small amount. But there are many god kings who come here to trade, so 400,000 points can only be considered average. Lin Mo took out a law bead, estimate a price. Lu Lan priced according to the rules, True God Realm Law Bead, our trading center has a public price, 10 points per bead. There was a slight disappointment in her eyes. She thought Lin Mo had some big business, but it turned out to be just law beads. Law beads with 10 points each, even if there are 10,000, it is only 100,000 points. However, Lu Lan concealed it well, did not show any impatience, and continued to pour tea for Lin Mo. Lin Mo also knew that 10 points was the public price, he already knew it before. Lin Mo gently put his finger on the trading plate and put all the law beads into it.